Sporting behavior by student athletes, coaches, and spectators request your cooperation as sport participants and the umpires in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or other intimidating actions directed at umpires, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the side of competition. Are prohibited from entering the playing area at any time. Violators will be removed from the park. And now please enjoy the sounds of Eshelman on our Blair Field organ. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Whitman. All right, Kansas meet the starting lineups for this afternoon's contest. First for the visiting Washington State Cougars. Leading off in center field for 17, Trevor Smith. Batting second, starting third baseman, number 5, Kyler Conqueror. Batting third, in the right field, number 23, Max Hartman. In the cleanup spot for the Cougars, starting left fielder, number 21, Dustin Robinson. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 12, Vincent Corello. Batting sixth for Washington State, and at first base, number 19, Ryan Chauncey. Batting seventh, starting second baseman, number 2, Dean Chavez. Batting the Cougars and doing the catching.
This is a KUGR sports production.
Good pass down low to Airstrip, and he scores off the glass.
Giving you play-by-play coverage of all your favorite WSU athletics.
He doesn't get it! He stops at the line!
Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and more.
Absolutely electrifying play from Washington State to get him right back in this game.
Follow us on YouTube at KUGR Sports to listen to every game live.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Never miss a moment with the best in the West. KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse.
Gets the Cougs on the board with less than 20 seconds remaining in this first period. Here come the Cougs.
And now, back to the game.
Welcome to Long Beach, California. We're here at Bull Diamond at Blair Field. It is the final game of a Washington State road trip, the 4-game series between 3 different teams, the BYU Cougars, Long Beach State Dirtbags, and of course, the Washington State Cougars. It is the final game here. It's a beautiful afternoon here in Long Beach, and Smith, we're due for a great game. My name's Nathan Eshelman. I'm joined by Smith Slye, and today Long Beach State is going to have to try to bounce back after their loss against Washington State, and leading them on the mound is true freshman Jason Gerfers.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a bit of a low bar to get over in this game. There were 11 walks yesterday in the Wazoo versus Long Beach game. When we talked to Nathan, coach, before this game, he mentioned that those free passes, and it's a term he uses a lot, are what really helped the Cougs kind of run away with that game to get that 10-4 win. There were numerous innings where the pitching staff for Long Beach just kept walking guys again and again and again. Walks, hit by pitches, errors, mistakes made out on the diamond, and Wazoo made them pay, and that's why the score reflected like that, 10-4. So Jason Gerfers, a true freshman right-handed pitcher. He's out of Calamasa, California. This is his first year in college ball. He's got a bit of a tough ass to go against the Cougs in this last game of the series. Coming into the game, he's got a 3.86 ERA. He's only made 3 appearances, 2 of which have been starts. So he's been one of the starting pitchers that Long Beach has leaned on. So he'll definitely be interested to see how he kind of responds to this Wazoo team.
He might be one of those guys who attacks the zone. He averages about 1 strikeout per inning. in his small sample size of play. But something else to look out for is a star of the game last time was Trevor Smith in the outfield for Washington State.
Absolutely. Trevor Smith almost hit for the cycle yesterday, had a single, a double, and a triple. Was the home run shy of hitting for the cycle. And if he can do that again today, I would not be surprised if WSU splits the series and really punches Long Beach in the mouth on their home turf.
It'd be a good job to get the sweep, but we're getting ready for the national anthem. Don't go anywhere, though. We're going to be right back here on KUGR.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we do ask that you please rise. If you are able, and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Joining the Red Bags on the field for the national anthem this afternoon, we have Oak Seat Crush Youth Baseball. Please remain standing as our anthem is performed by Sheffield on Blair Field, Oregon.
We're down on the field with head coach Nathan Cho ahead of the last game of the 4-game series against Long Beach. You beat them 10-4 last night. I kind of want to ask you about the fact that you guys had 11 walks in that game. How did maybe those 11 walks help you guys get that 10-4 win?
Yeah, anytime another team, has that many free passes, makes it a little easier to score, puts some pressure on their pitcher. And so hopefully we'll work some counts again today and get extra base runners on.
And then, of course, I feel like the elephant in the room has got to be Trevor Smith. Almost hit for the cycle. If he had a home run, he would have had the cycle. What are you seeing out of him in the early goings of this season?
He's just doing a good job staying with his approach and not trying to do too much as a freshman. And so been pleased with how he's playing and doing a really good job in his role.
Got you. And then this is the last game of the 4-game series. You're 1-2 so far. You have a chance to maybe split this series. What is maybe the goal for this this last game, and what are you going to maybe try and take away from the series moving into your next couple series coming up?
Yeah, anytime you take the field, obviously the goal is to win. I think we've played really well in the last 6 games, and so looking to make it 7 and stick with our process. And if we do that, we'll see where we end up.
Perfect. We'll send it back to you guys in the booth. Thank you, Smith. Feels weird thanking myself because I was down there doing that interview, but we're back up here just outside the press box at Blair Field, Bull Diamond in beautiful Long Beach, California. It is 77 degrees and sunny, 12:01 p.m. If you're wondering why the game's starting at 12:01, it's because it was moved up an hour. It was initially scheduled for 1 p.m. They moved it back an hour, so now it is starting at 12:05 p.m. And today the Cougs have an absolutely amazing chance to split this series after dropping the first 2 to BYU. You beat Long Beach yesterday 10-4, and now you're taking them on for the last game of the weekend series of the 4-game series. You have a chance to just split this series like you did against Cal Poly. And you got a good lineup rolling out to do it today. For the Cougars, leading it off in center field, it's the freshman Trevor Smith. Then in the 2-hole, it's Kyler Northrup at third base. Then in the 3-hole, it's Max Hartman in right. In the 4-hole, it's Dustin Robinson out in left field. In the 5-hole, it's Mason Perello DHing today. Then batting 6th, it's Ryan Shionsby at first base. Batting 7th, it's Dane Chavez at second base. Batting 8th, it's Noah Thine behind the dish as a catcher. And then rounding it out in the second leadoff spot in the 9 hole, it's Gavin Roy at short. On the mound for the Long Beach Dirtbags, it is the true freshman Jason Gerfers, right-handed pitcher, 6'2" and 170 pounds. Like we mentioned, 77 degrees and sunny. It's a beautiful, beautiful day for Cougar baseball. And on the play-by-play, it's Nathan Eshelman.
Thank you, Smith. And looking ahead to this game, Washington State needs this. I feel like they want this desperately any way that they can. They play so hard every single game this season. And those 2 losses to BYU, they were absolute heartbreaking losses. Both games decided in the 9th inning. The first game was the top of the 9th with a game-winning, which ended up being a game-winning 3-run shot into left field from BYU. And then in the bottom of the 9th in the second game, BYU walked it off 5-4 with a left field double. Just absolute heart-wrenchers. And Washington State did a great job bouncing back, stayed true to their game, small ball type of play. And coming into the approach today, they might have to change it up depending on what type of stuff Gerfers delivers off the mound.
The story this year for the Cougs has been the way they've been able to adapt to adversity. They've been put in some tough situations. I mean, to sum it all up, you started your season against Alabama, an SEC opponent. You played them your first series of the year. I mean, you won them game 1. You dropped the next 2 games. And then you were able to bounce back in a series split against Cal Poly. So that's kind of the identity of these Cougs. When they are put in a tough spot, they find ways to battle back, and that's what they did yesterday as well. You dropped those 2 heartbreaking losses to BYU. That's brutal. The Blue Cougs beat the True Cougs, but then you have a chance to play Long Beach at night in front of their home crowd, and you just destroyed them 10-4, a blowout win in college baseball. So now I'll be interested to see how Long Beach maybe responds to that. But for the Cougs, it's all about splitting that series, bouncing back from adversity, and being able to show why the Crimson and Gray is so good when they're put in a pinch.
They really have been tested time and time again. And something Nathan Choate talks about is the toughness and grit of this team to bounce back from those. And part of it is also he likes it when his guys get hit by pitches. And the last game against Long Beach, they had a couple of times that they were put on base from taking it to the back of the head almost. I think Trevor Smith was one of those guys. But Choate teaches his guys, be tough, be there to take those shots, get on base, and get any opportunity possible. And I think he's very proud of how his team responded to those 2 tough losses. And speaking of the leadoff man who's about to come into the box, Trevor Smith, he also said that he's focusing on ripping fastballs. That's what he likes to get his hits off of, and that's how he almost wound up with a cycle last game.
He must have been seeing a lot of fastballs because he got the single, double, and the triple, so he has seen the ball so well this year.
Well, Gerfers getting ready to start it. Wind up the pitch. It's low in the dirt, and we have started game 1. Smith actually might have made contact. He showed bunt, and it is strike 1. 0-1, 0 outs, 0-0. We're here in the top of the first at Blair Field. And Gerfers wind and delivers to Smith. Ball outside. Smith shows bunt again. 1-1 now the count.
I think I said a couple times that Nathan Choate, he'll take the bat out of some guys' hands. He looks like he's doing it here with Trevor Smith, but we've mentioned it. It's kind of the wrong guy to take the bat out of the hands of. He almost had the cycle yesterday. He's a phenomenal hitter.
Gerfers, the wind to deliver. Ball outside, 2-1 count. Trevor Smith is a switch hitter, and he took advantage of that 2 full last time around. But against BYU, he had 3 hits in a single game off of bunt singles, so maybe that's what they're trying to do. Gerfers, delivery. Inside. Appears the scoreboard might have been wrong. That's actually going to be ball 4. The first pitch was low in the dirt, and that is going to be an easy 4-ball walk for Trevor Smith.
Yeah, it seems the Long Beach sports information section is having a little bit of trouble today. They moved the game back to 12 p.m. They're struggling with the scoreboard right off the bat. So definitely some technical difficulties, some mishaps here from the Long Beach staff.
Well, Gerfers walks Smith. It brings up Kyler Northrup in the 2 spot. 1 man on first. The wind to deliver from Gerfers. High and inside. Northrup has to back up out of it. 1-0 to Northrup.
I will say that leadoff walk to Trevor Smith, that's brutal, a really brutal start for Gophers. We mentioned before there were 11 walks yesterday in the Wazoo versus Long Beach game, so Long Beach really struggling on the mound yesterday, and you start out the game with a 5-pitch walk to Trevor Smith, so now you got a leadoff walk to start the ball game. And I say it a lot. My high school pitching coach used to always say it. Leadoff walks score about 100% of the time. So I would not be surprised if Trevor Smith comes around to score here in the top of the first.
I honestly think any type of form of baseball, major all the way to youth leagues, any walk could lead to scores. And Washington State, if you're Trevor Smith, you did a great job reading every single one of those pitches. If you can get on base without having to get the bat off your shoulder, you're going to take it all day long. And after a mound visit from pretty much everyone in the infield, they had to calm Gophers down. 5 straight balls to start this ball game, and Gophers has to settle in. Still a 1-0 count. Smith on first. Top of the first, 0-0 ball game. Jason Gophers, deep delivery. Low and away. Ball 2. 6 straight balls now from the freshman.
And you saw there Trevor Smith fake stole at first base, and that's something that I like to see with a small ball team like that. You like fake steals like that, scoring a bunt, pulling it back, just getting in the head of your opponents.
Jason Gophers checks first. Wine, deliver. Down the middle, finds the zone. Strike 1, 2-1 count to Northrop.
And they did it again there. Trevor Smith faking the steal to second base. Because, you just turn, look like you're stealing second, and then go right back into your secondary shuffle. So it's a small ball approach. You're just trying to cause some chaos and confusion on the diamond.
It could work well against the freshman. Gophers, Wines delivers. It's line to left field, tracking it. Caught by Chandler, and it's going to be 1 out. Trevor Smith does not advance. In Washington State, after a couple of just straight balls and easy takes, rips one to left field, but ends up being an out.
That was just solid contact there from Dustin Robinson. A really, really good hit. But, of course, you hit it right at the guy, so nothing you can really do about it.
Really nothing you can do. And now it brings on Max Hartman, the lefty batter, up against the right-handed pitcher. Hartman, one of the better hitters for Washington State. The senior wanted to go to the MLB draft, but here he is today. Ball outside, pitch out, tries to throw back to first base, but unable to get him was Valdez. And Smith safe back at first base. Now 1-0 count to Max Hartman. Jason Gophers checks first. Takes a breath. Checks first base. Pickoff attempt unsuccessful. Smith back at first.
They're just really trying to keep him close. Like I said, he's been faking the steal over there at first base. He's really, really fast. Trevor Smith was able to get that triple yesterday on a shallow ball to right field that got past the right fielder. So when he takes off, he's got wheels.
This 1-0 delivery to Hartman. Catches the left corner. 1-1.
And Max Hartman, he's a guy you really want at the plate right now. 1 out, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 runner on. You're in the top of the first. It's a scoreless ball game. And Max Hartman's a phenomenal hitter. He's batting .333 so far this year. If he gets a hold of one, he can definitely hit to the long part of the yard.
Jason Gophers throws back to first base again. Smith able to get back safely. And the small ball approach, both from the defense and the offense now, kind of just checking back, trying to unsettle Smith as he was trying to unsettle him with the fake seals. Gopher checks first. Winds and delivers to Hartman. Another fake steal from Smith. And Hartman does go around on the bunt attempt. It's a 1-2, 1 out, still a 0-0 ball game in the top of the first.
And it's a tough count here for Max Hartman. 1-2. It's a favorable count for Gophers. So right now, if you can sit down Max Hartman after giving up that leadoff walk, that's a pretty good sign for Long Beach.
Gophers checks first base again. Trevor Smith does not fake steal. Hartman gets the ball to the bat to the ball, but it just bloops straight to the shortstop end right, and that is his second out of the inning.
That's a tough one there for Max Hartman. You got 2 strike count, a slider away from him. He has to kind of just throw the bat at it to hit this little flare right to end right at shortstop. And now it brings up Dustin Robinson, and he's getting a really warm welcome from the fans here at Wazoo.
We're here in Long Beach, but the traveling supporters for Washington State, they're very happy to see Dustin Robinson, the lefty batter, does have an advantage against Gophers. 0-0 count, checks back to the first. Another pickoff attempt fails. Trevor Smith is able to get back safely.
And we haven't mentioned it, but Dustin Robinson's family has traveled down here to Long Beach, so they're a majority of this fan section here in Wazoo. So that's why when he comes up to the plate, you're going to hear a lot of rowdiness here from these Coug fans.
Another pickoff attempt fails. Trevor Smith back safely. 0-0 count, 2 outs, top of the second. Robinson still waiting from a pitch from Gurfers.
And you have to admit that I'm pretty sure, looking at the numbers, I think there might be more Coug fans here than there are Dirtbag fans here in the afternoon game.
Great travel from Washington State fans. Gurfers delivers one to Robinson, and it's inside. Ball 1 to the outfielder.
And Dustin Robinson's putting together a pretty good year so far. He's only played in 8 games, so he's missed 2 of them. But in that time, he's batted .292, so a really good hitter. Just south of 300, but still a phenomenal hitter at the plate.
Gets on base, 370. Another pickoff attempt on first base. Smith gets back once again. I say that's about the 6th time he's checked first base. Trevor Smith not necessarily doing his fake steals anymore. He's getting back more and more.
I wouldn't be surprised if Trevor Smith takes off here on one of these pitches, just tries to make him pay.
Jason Gurfers checks first base again. A wind and delivered to Robinson. Hit to the third baseman. Collected and delivered to first. A low pick. Evans to Lina, and that'll do it for the top of the first. Washington State strands Trevor Smith on first base. Washington State unable to score any runs off of the walk, and it's going to go to the bottom of the first to the Long Beach Dirtbags.
Setting Washington State defensively, in the left field is number 21, Dustin Robinson. The center fielder is Trevor Smith, and in the right field is number 23, Max Hartman. Working our way around the horn at third base, we find Tyler Northrup. The shortstop is Kevin Moore. At second base, number 2, Dave Chavez. And first base is number 19, Ryan Schmaltzberg. Number 46, number 9. Number 9, pitcher, 25, Kevin Smith. Fans who just got all this season, you can bring it up here to the defensive box. And they're pretty Chick-fil-A gift card from your season at Chick-fil-A. Now sending today's first-class fans of the game, we're operating to new speeds. Thanks for the trip. This afternoon, David and Brady as their seatbelts. Here to arrive a lifetime. Brought to you by the Long Beach Airport.
So the Cougs in the top of the first get no hits, no runs, no errors, and leave one runner on base. It was Trevor Smith. But now we're moving into the bottom of the first, and the starting lineup for the Long Beach Dirtbags. Leading it off, it's Trevor Goldenetz in center field. Then in the 2-hole spot, it's Smith Chandler in left. Batting third, 3-hole, it's Strutter Enright at short. Batting fourth, it's Dylan Lina at first base. Batting fifth, it's Matt Toomey in right field. Batting sixth, it's Jake Evans at third. Batting seventh, it's Caden Smaka as the DH. And batting eighth, it's David Valdez at behind the dish as a catcher. And rounding it out at 9-hole, it's Camden Gasser at second base. On the mound for the Cougs, it's the senior Griffin Smith. And on play-by-play for the bottom of the first, it's Nathan Eshelman.
Thank you, Smith. And a little bit of defensive switches on the infield for Long Beach. Just a little bit of shifting between second and short, switching Enright and Gasser between the two positions. But here we are in the bottom of the first. Griffin Smith to pitch. The strike one to Trevor Goldenetz. Here in the bottom of the first, still 0-0. Long Beach looking to break the tie. Trevor Goldenetz, one of the better hitters for the Dirtbags. Griffin Smith winds, delivers, catches the zone on the inside. Once again, a quick 0-2 count advantage to Griffin Smith.
That's a great start from the senior from Appleton, Wisconsin. Griffin Smith was one of the best starters for Washington State last year, and he's looking like it here today.
The windup, the delivery, it's lined to right field, tracking it straight to him. It's Max Hartman, and that's a quick 3-pitch, 1 out for Washington State.
Man, Goldenetz just kind of mirrored Kyler Northrup. I mean, Northrup's a righty, so he lined his into left, and then Goldenetz is a lefty, so he lined that into right, and it's just right to the fielder. In this case, it was Max Hartman right there. Kind of took a few steps back, planted that back foot, and was right there to make that catch. It's a quick first out for Griffin Smith, only on 3 pitches, so that's very, very efficient thus far.
Now Smith Chandler comes up to the plate. Griffin Smith delivers. It's grounded straight to the shortstop. Gavin Roy collects, delivers it to first base, and Shawnsby gets the out. 2 outs now very quickly in the inning.
And that's just some good work there from Griffin Smith, filling up the zone. That's something that Nathan Shook talks about a lot, not being afraid to attack the zone. Pitchers struggle when they're scared to throw something in the strike zone. You're trying to work yourself around there, and you're not able to paint those corners. So if you have a pitcher who's able to just be aggressive, attack the zone, and really fill it up, then you're going to get out of innings pretty quick.
Griffin Smith delivers to Trotter. Enright showed bunt, catches the zone again. Inside corner's been a favorite spot for Griffin Smith. He loves him some Sweet Chin music from the looks of it. 0-1 count, 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Trotter Enright waits for the delivery from Smith. Wind, and it goes inside. Ball 1, 1-1 count now. And speaking of Long Beach, they're not really a team that can put power onto the ball. Not a great contact team other than the top of the lineup. Griffin Smith's delivery goes wide. 2-1 count now, 2 outs. But when you look at their lineup, they take walks. They're great at being disciplined. So if Griffin Smith is able to attack the zone, it can make them a little uncomfortable. The 2-1 delivery from Smith. Grounded to the first baseman, just goes foul. 2-2 goes the count.
Yeah, you mentioned it there. Long Beach is a team that walks a lot. They've drawn 62 walks so far this year, but they've also given up 62 walks as well. And then you look at the Cougs, they've walked 43 times and have given up 45. So definitely Long Beach is a team that is not unfamiliar with walks.
Griffin Smith delivers, goes to Shawnsby again. This time it's fair, collects it himself, and the quick put out tips it to the end of this first inning. It's a 0-0 ball game, 0 hits, 0 runs, 0 errors for both teams. And we're going to go to the top of the second. Washington State ready to go up to bat.
This time, I'd like to recognize the following attendance with us here this afternoon, and welcome again to OC Rush Youth Baseball here today. And also, welcome to Mike and friends. Thanks for joining us here at the time at Fairfield. Major Long Beach State Dirtbags continue their homestand here on Tuesday, March 3rd, as they take on the University of Garcia from Japan with the first pitch set at 6:05 a.m. Get your tickets at longbeachstate.com/tickets.
We're back here in the top of the first. We're here at Blair Field, Bold Diamond. Once again, my name's Nathan Eshelman, joined by Smith Slye. It is the top of the second, 0-0 ball game between the Washington State Cougars and the Long Beach Dirtbags. Washington State ready to take their at-bats in the top of the second. Mason Perrell leads it off. Jason Gerfer still on the mound for Long Beach, and he's ready to deliver the 0-0. A wind to deliver. Check swing, appeal to first base umpire, and he calls it a strike. 0-1 count on Perrello.
That's a tough start right there. You got a little bit of freshman to freshman action here. Gerfers is a freshman on the mound. Perrello's a freshman at the plate, so it's battles to see which freshman comes out on top.
Gerfers delivers an inside ball. 1-1 strike is the count now. Perrello does have some pop in his bat. Not many starts, only one on the season. Now he's got his second. Gerfers pitch, swing and a miss on Perrello early on that one, and it was a good breaking ball from the freshman.
And Mason Perrello, he was a really good hitter back in high school. In his career, he batted .315 and had a .953 OPS.
Gerfers 1-2 delivery, swung on and fouled to the left side, reaching the Long Beach State dugout. And we're going to redo the 1-2.
And so far this year, Mason Perrello's batting .357 in those 8 games, even though he's only had 14 at bats. So he's been kind of a late game substitution, but today he's getting the start, and he's got a chance to maybe win himself a spot.
Gurfers winds and delivers inside, goes high. 2-2. Now the count, 0 outs in the top of the first. Tied ball game. 2 goose eggs from both sides. Neither team able to get a hit as well. Trevor Smith led off with 4 straight balls in the top of the first. No runners on base since. Gurfers pitch inside. Might have clipped Pirello, and it does. And he'll take his free base.
And now you're starting to see the walks and the hit by pitches start to rear their ugly head here for Long Beach. That was what plagued them yesterday. It's plaguing them again today. And now it's another leadoff base runner for Wazoo. Trevor Smith drew a walk to open up the ball game, and now Mason Pirello gets that hit by pitch to get on base early here in the top of the second in this scoreless game.
Pirello's now on first base. Jason Gurfers picked off or tried to pick off Trevor Smith a couple times in the top of the first. We'll see if he tries to do the same. Shawnsby now up to the plate and the left-hander's batter's box. First delivery finds the zone. 0-1 count, 0 outs now. And looking at Mason Pirello, he doesn't have the same speed as Smith, but they could try to mess with the freshman pitcher a couple times. Gurfers winds, delivers a pitch out to the catcher. And it does not wind up in a throw. Pirello just kind of went straight back to first base. Wasn't really showing any attempt at a steal. 1-1 count to Ryan Shawnsby, the Long Beach first baseman. Pickoff attempt at first. And Pirello's able to get back safely. And Gurfers really not making anyone comfortable no matter who it is on first base.
Yeah, they're just really trying to check in on him at the moment. And Pirello's an interesting case. He might be from Sammamish, but he's a bit of a Palouse product. Both his parents went to Wazoo before him. They went in 1990, and now here he is playing D1 ball for the Cougs.
Lots of crimson and gray love with his family. He goes for a steal. It ends up being a hit and run. Shawnsby makes contact. Pirello is out on a forced out at second, and it'll bring up the first out of the inning. Shawnsby is safe at first base. And with that, brings up Dane Chavez.
Yeah, so Ryan Shawnsby is going to get on with a fielder's choice. It seemed like he might just hit that off the very end of the bat, a kind of a squibber over to Evans at third. He fielded it, didn't have a lot of time, so he just throws to second base. Pirello didn't really get there in time, so they get him out at second, but then there's no real play at first. So, Shawnsby's on base. It's kind of just now you got one out and runner on first. It's just kind of deja vu.
Pirello, even with the running start, didn't really get any momentum going towards second base. And now Dane Chavez takes a low ball after showing bunt. 1 out in the inning. And Chavez, he does have the bat in his hands, but a lot of times what we see is Nathan Choate will have him bunt and take it out of his hands.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they do that because Dane Chavez is batting .083, so he's sub 100 so far this year.
Pickoff attempt at first base almost gets Shawnsby, but he is back safely. Still a 1-0 to Chavez.
And that was really, really close for Ryan Shawnsby. He just barely snuck the hand in there, so he's safe, but you're definitely going to be thinking twice about getting too far off of first.
Another pickoff attempt. That one not as close. Shawnsby more prepared that time. Lena on the previous attempt put the glove right on him as the ball reached him, so it was a bit of a close play at first. First base umpire able to make the correct decision, Alan Walker. And now an actual delivery to first base. It's a hit and bumbled and fumbled, and Lena falls off the bag as well. It was hard hit to first base from Chavez, fumbles it, gets past him, and then the second baseman Gasser able to throw it to him, but Lena took his foot off the bag as well. That's about 2 errors in one play from the first baseman.
And one thing we always say in baseball is after you make an error, do not follow it up with another one, and that's what Lena did right there. Had the ball come right to him, just kicked off his glove, went right through the wickets, right past him. And then when the second baseman, Gasser, came to back him up and get that throw to first, Lena dropped it again. So it's back-to-back errors, and now you got runners on first and second with only 1 out.
Noah Thine now up to bat. The pitch from Gurfers is in there for a strike. 0-1 count now to Thine, the catcher. Now 2 runners on. They did attribute that as a hit. So that is not a first baseman error. A pickoff attempt at second on Shawnsby. He's back safely. Tag on the head made, but too late. And multiple pickoff attempts. no matter where they are, I don't know if Shawnsby is really thinking about a steal situation here on second base, but Gerfer is not taking any chances.
I am really shocked they did not give that as an error to Lena, because that was pretty routine of a play. I mean, it kind of hurts Gerfer's in terms of his ERA, but that's just a rough one for him.
Gerfer's pitch to Thine goes outside, 1-1. Now the count, 1 out in the inning. Washington State with a runner on second and first with a chance to break this game open. The delivery to Thine goes outside once again, dropped by the catcher Valdez, but able to be picked up. No attempt at a steal from Shawnsby. And they stay at second and first.
Yeah, just kind of rattled out of his glove there, but he does a good job of getting back to it, picking it up, and making sure that Shawnsby can't move into third. I mean, Shawnsby's not the fastest guy, but you definitely want to keep your eye on him and make sure he doesn't snag that corner base.
Gerfer's ready to deliver to Thine. Thine, not many plate appearances so far this year, but he shows bunt. He connects with it, goes to the third baseman. Evans with a throw to first, and it's caught and collected this time cleanly by Lena. And it ends up being the second out. Runners advance to third and second with 2 outs.
That's just a good sacrifice bunt there from Noah Thine, the senior from DeWitt, Iowa. He didn't play all that much last year because, you're sitting behind Will Cresswell. So he only got into about 19 games, batted 114 last year. He gets a good sack bunt there, down to the third baseman Evans. He throws to first. But now you got 2 runners in scoring position, and you got Gavin Roy up. He's batting .286 so far this year, and he's played in all 10 games. This is a good bat to have down in the bottom of your order.
Gavin Roy ready to take the pitch from the freshman. Gerfers delivers an inside strike, 0-1 to count to Gavin Roy.
That's just a good breaking ball right there from Gerfers. Kind of a bit of a bender that kind of almost brushed Gavin Roy back a little bit, forced him to kind of buckle away, and just clips that inside corner.
The Canadian shortstop ready to take the pitch from Gerfers. It's in bunt straight back to the pitcher. Gerfers delivers to first base, and he's out. No runs scored, 2 left on base. And Washington State is able to collect a hit in the inning, but it does not result in any runs. The Dirtbags now with the chance to take the lead in the bottom of the second. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to KUGR Sports, the student voice of the Palouse. We're back here in Long Beach, California. The Long Beach Dirtbags ready to start the bottom of the second inning. Leading off is Dylan Lina, who had the error, or what appeared to be the error in the top of the second, but they attributed it as a hit. And now he's going to try to make up for his mistake by getting on base against Griffin Smith. Smith winds and delivers. Does not find the zone. 1-0 count to Lena.
Yeah, I was really shocked they did not give him an error on that play because it was grounded right to him and just went right through the wickets. I mean, that's a play you should make about 10 times out of 10. He didn't make it there, but, I mean, they called it a hit, and so it's going to be a hit.
Smith winds and delivers, and it goes low and away. 2-0 count to the first baseman. Lena on the season, not one of the better hitters or one of the players that can get on base consistently. Smith pitches, fouled back to Thine. Now 2-1 count.
And that looks like Lena just kind of fouled that straight into the dirt and then back off his body. Those ones kind of suck. That's why you'll see players wearing those foot Evo shields, because a lot of times they'll foul a ball right into their front foot. And I'll tell you from experience, it really sucks. So if you're able to just not have that have a little bit padding there, it helps out.
Smith's pitch. Glenna goes, catches the outside corner. 2-2 now the count. And even with those Evo shields, I bet that still got to sting pretty crazily. That bat sending a high velocity ball off of your ankle, even with the braces, might still hurt. Griffin Smith winds, delivers outside again, does not catch the corner. Count goes full to the first baseman.
I really need Griffin. You need Griffin Smith here to kind of battle back against Lena. You had a really quick inning in the bottom of the first. You had a 3-up, 3-down inning, and now you fill up against Lena. So you need to show some adversity. Really, really battle.
Griffin Smith winds and delivers. Fouled back towards the right field line. Goes over the stadium into the parking lot. They're going to redo the full count.
That's just that bat being strung together here by Dylan Lena. I mean, work it full, and then you battle off a pitch like that, and that's how you put together a quality at bat.
Lena ready to take it from Griffin Smith. Pitch goes outside, and he does take the ball, and it's a full count walk for the first baseman.
And that's brutal there for Griffin Smith for the Cougs on the mound. You had a quick 3-up, 3-down inning in the bottom of the first, and now you get a leadoff walk to Lena. That's just not the way you want to start this inning. Now you bring up Matt Toomey. And Griffin Smith was phenomenal last year with the Cougs, and he's now in his senior year, but his junior campaign last season, he had a 5.73 ERA, made 16 appearances, 14 of which were starts, only had 52 earned runs, and had a 41 strikeout to 18 ball ratio, which I think is the most impressive thing about that junior season from him.
Well, so far to start the year, the walks and strikeout ratio slightly there, 6 strikeouts to 3 walks, or now it's bumping up to 4, but now working against Matt Toomey, a guy who does not necessarily strike out all too often. Griffin Smith, the right-handed pitcher, working against the left-hander outfielder. Wind and delivers, grounded to Shawnsby at first base, collects it off the dirt, throw to second in time. Throw to first, not in time, and it'll be a fielder's choice. Now 1 out in the inning, Lena out at second.
And that was just a good play there from Ryan Shawnsby. You saw that they have a chopping ball off the bat at Toomey. Shawnsby kind of runs in to try and cut it off. He picks it off the dirt. That's a good play from first baseman. I mean, first basemen aren't always expected to be your best defenders. That was a good play from Ryan Shawnsby. Fires across the second to get that out. And then you try and go back to first to get the second out, trying to get that double play. Of course, Toomey's a bit of a quick guy, so he gets in there safely on a fielder's choice.
Smith checks back first. Unable to get the pickoff attempt, and Toomey gets back safely. 1 out in the inning. We're in the bottom of the second. Washington State in a 0-0 ball game. Griffin Smith trying to keep it that way with the runner on first. Takes a deep breath. Goes back to first for another pickoff attempt. Shawnsby unable to make the tag on Toomey, and he gets back safely.
And Toomey's going to call time here. Something must have gotten mixed up with his equipment. He's took off his helmet, kind of shook the dirt out of it there. We should mention that here at Blair Field and Bull Diamond, it's an MLB-style field. So it's the grass and dirt infield, grass outfield. It's beautiful, a really, really beautiful ballpark. But you have stuff like that. When guys dive back in, they'll get dirt stuck in their pants, in their belt, in their helmet, in your jersey, literally everywhere.
Definitely a big league type of feel, especially when you have the ambiance of the stadium as well. Griffin Smith goes back to first. Another pickoff attempt on Toomey. Still able to get back safely. And the small ball effect taking place.
And we mentioned it before that there's probably more Wazoo fans here than there are Long Beach fans, but even with that, the attendance here at Long Beach, I think, would blow most Coug home games out of the water at times.
Griffin Smith sets and delivers to Jake Evans. And the first pitch of the at-bat is a strike. 0-1 count, 1 out. Runner on first.
I mean, we do say that, they have much more attendance than us, but it does help that it's 78 degrees and sunny, and it's in the late stages of March and late stages of February into March.
Griffin Smith delivers a high ball, 1-1 count. And when it's talking about attendance, weather in Pullman also can play a tribute to that. Long Beach, beautiful weather. this is definitely somewhere you want to travel for baseball. Griffin Smith checks back to first. Another pickoff attempt. Toomey still getting back to first. And it has been a rinse and repeat of both sides. Anytime a runner gets on, try to make him as comfortable as possible with as many pickoff attempts.
There's no rule against it in college, so you can pick over as much as you want. So if it works, make him uncomfortable.
Griffin Smith delivers to Jake Evans. Hard foul ball towards the right side. Hits off the net. Caught by the Washington State dugout. A little bit celebratory for the barehanded catch. Unable to see who that was, but 1-2 count to Jake Evans.
And Jake Evans is a sophomore. He's a Long Beach, California native as well. He, played his freshman year last year, only batted 192, OPS 667. So this could be a guy you can get a quick out on.
Smith delivered. Thine almost goes for the throw at first base after the ball outside. 2-2 count with 1 out, trying to make it 2 quickly. Toomey still getting back to first base quickly, but Thine also trying to show him that you're not comfortable. Smith checks first. The wind and the deliver. Swing and a miss. Swung out of his shoes, and it is a strikeout on Jake Evans. Griffin Smith with the first strikeout of the day.
That's just a phenomenal way to respond. You kick off the inning by walking Lina. Then you get that fielder's choice against Matt Toomey. But now Matt Toomey's on first base. And then you strike out Jake Evans. So now your strikeout to walk ratio is 1-to-1 so far today at the very least. So that's just a great job by Griffin Smith in terms of just battling back from adversity. When you put him in a tight spot, he finds ways to just kind of wiggle out of it.
Really wiggling at it right there. And now comes up the DH, Caden Smaka, of hit and run situation, hit into the outfield, but caught and tracked down by Trevor Smith. That'll do it for the inning. Smaka unable to get on base, and so far through 2 innings, Washington State and the Long Beach Dirtbags are tied at 0. Both teams now at 0 runs, 0 hits, and Dirtbags got that error. It was changed, and Lena got it. But after 2, it's 0-0. Going to the top of the 3rd, where the Washington State Cougars will try to break the tie.
Parents, make sure you have a waiver filled out prior to the end of the 7th inning. Kids will be lined up on the third baseline entrance behind the Dirtbags third base dugout by the end of the game. You can fill out the waiver at the marketing table with either the red or the sun. Or even easier, scan the QR code now on the video board. Get that waiver done ahead of time right now.
Back here at Blair Field, top of the 3rd, Washington State Cougars and the Long Beach Dirtbags unable to score. Some runners put on base each inning, but unable to successfully drive them in from either side. Leading off for the top of 3rd is Trevor Smith, and on the call is Smith Slye.
Thank you, Nathan. Like you mentioned, it's Trevor Smith, the true freshman out of El Calhoun, California. He'll lead it off here in the top of the 3rd. It's a scoreless ball game, 0-0. Jason Gerfer is still on the mound for the Dirtbags. And the first pitch to Smith is swung on and lifted high in the infield. Second baseman Gasser will be called off by Lina. He makes the grab, and it's 1 pitch and 1 out here in the top of the 3rd.
And that one was just rocketed into the sky. A couple guys had the option to go for the catch, but Lina calling off everyone around him makes the catch. And I mean, the sun is not necessarily directly above the field, so decently easy play there if you're able to track it.
And every single inch of Blair Field is just covered in sunlight at the moment. As the first pitch to Kyler Northrup is a bender on the inside corner for strike 1. And the Cougs played Long Beach yesterday. They played them at night, so it was completely dark outside. They had to turn the lights on But now it's in the midday, so it's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day in Long Beach, California. 78 degrees and sunny. The next pitch to Kyler Northrup missed outside. It's ball one. One ball, one strike, and one out. Gurfers from the windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on, foul. Pardon me, that's going to stay just fair into shallow right field. Coming in is Gasser. Does he have a beat on it? Yes, he does. He's there to make the grab for out number 2. That one definitely fooled me. Looked like it was drifting foul and out of play, but it was right between the white lines. An easy play for Toomey to go make that catch.
A lot of time with those hits, you think that they're going to curve out of play, but that one just kind of stayed straight on its line, and Toomey able to make the catch. 2 outs very quickly in this inning.
And it's a bad spot for Wazoo at the moment. 2 outs, nobody on. You got Max Hartman to the plate, though. The lefty facing off against the righty pitcher. First offering to him. Misses low and in the dirt. Blocked by Valdez. It's ball 1.
Something else to mention about the last game that they played, when it was at night, Washington State was coming off of a midday game and a midday loss to BYU. It's a scorcher that day as well.
1-0 pitch to Hartman. Just misses the top rail. Ball 2.
Heat was pretty bad, but Washington State bounced back pretty well. Night game, shifting over to the midday game against Long Beach. It'll be the same team, but different approach.
2-0 count for Max Hartman. Gurfers winds, and he fires. Just misses low and inside for ball 3. 3-0 count. Hitters count for Max Hartman. And you mentioned it, Nathan, in that first game of the BYU game, it was up to the 90s, and now it's 78. So very, very different weather here today. It's the 3-0 offering. Just clips that inside corner. Max Hartman took it all the way, and it makes it a 3-1 count with 2 outs and nobody on here in the top of the third. We are scoreless, 0-0.
That was a great pitch from Gurfers, not giving him the free walk, and Hartman might have to decide if he wants to swing this at bat.
3-1 pitch, swung on and fouled straight back off the body of Valdez. Just kind of rolls to a dirt bag coming down the bullpen to pick out of the dugout to come pick it up, and it makes it a 3-ball, 2-strike count.
And Hartman looked like he had the green light. He swung out of his shoes for that one. He wanted to send that one to right field in the Jared Weaver bullpen for a home run.
And Max Hartman has one of the 2 home runs for the Cougs this year. Hit his in the first game of that Alabama series to kick off the year. The payoff pitch is just smacked past Lina into right field. Coming up with it is Toomey, but Max Hartman has a 2-out single that was scorched into right field, and the Cougs have a 2-out base runner with Dustin Robinson coming to the plate.
And every time you hear him come up to bat, you hear the crowd. Our field mic able to pick it up pretty well. The right side of the bleachers, all Dustin Robinson fans.
And Dustin Robinson, the redshirt sophomore out of Bray, California, spent 2 years at Cypress Community College and now finds himself on the Palouse. As Gurfers will quick pick over to Max Hartman. He's back in safely.
All these pickoff attempts really slows the game down as well, kind of calms down Gurfers. And Dustin Robinson, when he might be fired up for a base knock, slows him down a little.
Robinson waiting his first pitch scene. Max Hartman takes off the second base. This pitch is drilled into left center field. That ball will get up the wall. It bangs off the wall. Max Hartman rounds third. He's in to score. Dustin Robinson headlong into third. It's a 2-out triple from Dustin Robinson to make this a 1-0 game in the top of the third.
That was quite a hit, and unfortunately, trying to make the play in left field was Smith Chandler. He's down, couldn't make the catch, but an electric hit from Dustin Robinson. That thing was smoked and was so close to going over the wall.
And Smith Chandler was trying to track down that ball in left field, collided with it as Dustin Robinson just smoked that ball into left center field, right off one of the banners out there one of the sponsor banners out there in left center field. Smith Chandler collided with it, came down to the ground. Golden Nets had to back him up and pick up the ball to get it in. And now the athletic trainers didn't go to check on him. He's yet to get up. He's still on the ground. Definitely a bit of a scary sight here at Blair Field.
It definitely is. And holding his head, you don't like to see those types of injuries. Hopefully it's nothing too major for Smith Chandler. He's been one of their better players, especially offensively. So it would be a big loss for the Dirtbags if he's unable to continue.
And Smith Chandler batting .333 so far this year, slugging .389. He's been getting on base at a .455 clip, so definitely a phenomenal hitter. He's only played in 6 games, with 5 of which he started. He's getting the start today. He also started yesterday as well. So if he has to come out of this game for you, it's a bit of a back-breaking loss, and he's finally back up to his feet. And the infielders for the Long Beach Dirtbags are going to slowly walk out to the outfield to go check on it. And we're not sure how long it's going to take here to see when we get back to the action. You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR, Cougar College Radio. Dustin Robinson brings home Max Hartman on an RBI triple. We'll be right back.
Your attention, please, for Long Beach State. Indicating on left field for score of 3 on the board.
Don't worry, we have other fun plans this summer. What? So we looked at the different options. We looked at shipping Emily's car. We looked at what it would look like. I want to come back there. You let me talk. And right now the plan is for get there. I'll probably go with Dave to help her organize the camp and stuff. And you're welcome to come race at that time if you want to come early, but unfortunately we have to work. Like we have to pack our shit up. We have to be organized. We have to get it done. We can't just. You're welcome to come, but it will be busyness. We'll be packing shit up. We'll be organizing. It's moving stuff to the hotel. It'll be very busy. Then you and/or your dad will come probably Thursday morning in Mountjoy. Or you might come Wednesday afternoon. At this point, we will not have rented a car. We'll still have Emily's car. Get around town and whatever. Go to Mountjoy Thursday.
Dustin Robinson, the redshirt sophomore, California kid, goes opposite field, just absolutely blistered a ball into left center field to bring home Max Hartman on first base and makes it a 1-0 ball game. Washington State leading early on at this midday game. It's 12:50 p.m. here on Sunday in Long Beach, California. And on the play, Smith Chandler, the starting left fielder for the Long Beach Dirtbags, collided with the wall at full speed. He was down on the ground for a while. They'll bring him out of the game, and coming in to relieve him is Reed Montgomery, a redshirt sophomore from Mission Viejo, California. He had a little bit of time there to get warmed up, but now it's going to be Mason Perello coming to the dish for the Cougs with a runner on third base, 2 outs. And let's see if the Cougs can't make this a 2-0 ball game.
And after the Cougars were struggling to make contact, Hartman delivers off of 2 outs, gets one ripped into the right field, and to the much pleasure of the crowd here in Long Beach, triple from Dustin Robinson.
First pitch to Perello, a bender that missed low. It's ball 1. And Mason Perello back in the second, his first at bat of the game. He got hit by a pitch, but then, of course, was thrown out trying to advance into second. He's got a 1-0 count, 2 outs, 1 runner on. It's a 1-0 Wazoo lead. Swings and misses at a breaking ball. It's strike 1. That was about a hack and a half at that slider from Gurfers.
Seemed like he just missed it. Good timing on it, just completely was on the wrong spot.
Even count, 1-1. Here's the pitch. Swung on and smacked past the third baseman into left field. Robinson will score. Mason Perello, 2-out production to make it a 2-0 ball game.
And he may have missed the breaking ball, but that one he did not miss. Pulls it into left field. A great job putting contact onto the ball with some power. And now Washington State, after struggling to get any hits in the first 2 innings, and at least the first 8 outs of the game, there are 3 straight batters with a base knock.
The kid from Sammamish, Mason Perello, getting it done here with 2 outs in the top of the third. You'll love to see that in college ball, 2-out production. As the first pitch to Ryan Shawnsby, missed lone in the dirt for ball 1. It's a 1-0 count to the senior from Long Beach.
And with his homecoming tour, he's been doing pretty decent in all of these matchups. And right now, he could deliver with something more.
Next pitch is just on the outside corner, strike 2. Shawnsby watched it go past him. Pardon me, that's strike 1. It's a 1-1 count for Shawnsby.
And Shawnsby got on in the top of the second. Now back to him.
And there's a quick pickoff attempt over to Perello, but he's back in head first.
But he got on from a fielder's choice, and it was a tough play to be made. And a lot of the times with this Cougars team, they've been going for small ball, but this inning, they've been ripping everything into the outfield, whether it's singles or a triple from Dustin Robinson.
1-1 pitch to Ryan Shawnsby. Misses in the dirt, but it's blocked by Valdez, so they'll keep Perello at first base. They need to keep him close. 2 runs have scored here in the top of the third, both with 2 outs. So Gurfers was able to get a quick pair of outs, but then just fell behind on Max Hartman, Dustin Robinson, and then Mason Perello. 2-1 count for Shawnsby, the senior first baseman. Quick pickoff to attempt over to Perello. He's in safely again. And for Gurfers, you've allowed 2 runs on 2 outs in this inning, so now you got to keep Perello close. Cannot allow this game to get out of control. Gurfers from the stretch. He comes set. Perello at first base. Ryan Shawnsby in the left-handed batter's box at the plate. Here's the pitch. Just high for ball 3. And it's a 3-1 count for Ryan Shawnsby.
It was a good job by Shawnsby not going for it. He wanted to swing, but Chuck checked himself up just when he needed to. 3-1 count. He has the advantage.
And Ryan Shawnsby has the other home run on the year for the Cougs, also at Alabama. And here's the 3-1 pitch. Swung on, chopped foul to the Cougar dugout. Bounces off the wall. And coming out to pick it up is one of the Cougar relief men.
I mean, that game 1 against Alabama, first game of the year, Hartman and Shawnsby go deep. It makes you think that Washington State was about to be a powerhouse in the season. But ever since then, not a single ball going over the wall. And some of these power hitters, they might be able to get one. Robinson almost had one today.
And that could change right here. Runner on first, full count. He's going to be taking off. Runner takes off. Here's the pitch, swung on and smacked. The second baseman, Gasser, he's up with it, shortens up, flips to first to get the out and retire the side. The Cougs score 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and they leave 1 man on base. You're listening to Cougar Baseball here in beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Long Beach, California on KUGR, Cougar College Radio.
All right, fans, it's now time for the t-shirt toss. Brought to you by Kate Toyota. Who wants a great t-shirt? Make some noise. T-shirts coming your way. Courtesy of Kate Toyota.
That's me.
Dustin Robinson, the 6'4" left fielder, the freight train, smacked a triple in the left center field to bring home Max Hartman, and then Mason Perello just crushed the ball into right field to bring home Robinson. So now it is a 2-0 ball game moving into the bottom of the third. Griffin Smith still on the mound for Washington State, and leading it off for the Dirtbags, it'll be Damon Valdez, then Camden Gasser, and then it'll flip over to Trevor Golden that's in the leadoff spot. So those are your 3 guaranteed batters for Long Beach. But let's see if the Cougs can't sit them down in order.
And also looking back at that Robinson triple, that's only the 3rd triple of the year, and 2 of them have come during this road trip. The other one, the first one in the season was from Hartman, and then the other one was from Trevor Smith during his game with the cycle.
Damon Valdez will dig himself into the righty's batter's box. First pitch to him on the inside corner, strike 1, and Griffin Smith gets ahead early.
I know I correct myself on that one. Trevor Smith didn't get the cycle, but he got very close to it.
0-1 count for Griffin Smith. He winds and he fires. Swung on and fouled straight out of the glove of Noah Thine, and it's a quick 0-2 count against Damon Valdez, the freshman from Long Beach.
And Damon Valdez, a lot of these guys on the roster just struggle offensively so far in the year. He only gets on base 231. Got to do a little bit better.
0-2 pitch. Low and in the dirt. Valdez does not go after it, and it makes it a 1-ball and 2-strike count. And Damon Valdez, a true righty, bats righty, throws righty. He's 6'3". He's a big boy. If he gets a hold of something, he could launch it into left field. That's the 1-2 offering. Outside, ball 2. And Griffin Smith, the senior, he's out of Appleton, Wisconsin. Started at Rock Valley Community College, played 2 years there, and then transferred to the Cougs last year. And 2-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled through his legs, and back to the backstop. And while Griffin Smith was with Rock Valley, he broke a number of program records. Broke records for single-season strikeouts, wins, and innings pitched. He had 113 strikeouts, 11 wins, and went 77 innings. So definitely a very, very phenomenal pitcher. It's the 2-2 pitch. It's swung on and missed. A breaking ball that fell off the table. Valdez goes fishing and catches nothing.
And that was an amazing pitch from Smith. 8th strikeout on the year. And with those types of pitches, he attacks the zone so well that when he sends off the breaking ball, it's so hard not to swing at it. And right there was a perfect example of that.
Brings up Camden Gasser, batting in the 9-hole, the second leadoff spot from the lefty's batter's box. Here's the first offering to him. It's inside for ball 1. And that's the second strikeout of the game for Griffin Smith. He struck out Jake Evans the inning before, and then now kicks it off by striking out Damon Valdez. The 1-0 pitch. Right down the middle, taken all the way for strike 1. Evens it up. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. It's a 2-0 ball game, Washington State leading. Camden Gasser trying to get some 1-out production. That pitch clips the outside corner, taken for strike 2. It's a 1-ball and 2-strike count to Camden Gasser. He's a graduate student out of Huntingburg, Indiana. And he actually played with Purdue back in 2024 and 2025. So here's the 1-2 to him. Just misses that top rail. It's ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
And Gasser is one of those guys who has the best discipline on the team. Only about a 174 batting average, but he gets on base so much because he has 20 walks on the year. He had 3 against Washington State last game.
2-2 pitch. Low and inside, just skips off the dirt, and it's contained by Noah Thine, and it fills up the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Gasser might actually have some of the best eyes out of a batter on this field today. He's just so good at taking anything.
Payoff pitches smacked up the middle into center field. Up with it, Trevor Smith, but Camden Gasser smokes that ball into center field, and he's got a 1-out single.
That's only his 5th hit on the year, but now the 26th time he's going to reach base. A great job from the second baseman to just push it through, and Smith didn't really have a chance getting it, and neither could Roy or Chavez. Great job for Long Beach to stick in it to this inning, and now at the top of the order, they could do some damage with the runner on first.
And the lineup flips over for the first time today for Long Beach. Trevor Goldenet's batting in the leadoff spots. First pitch to him. Misses lone inside for ball 1. Noah Thine did a good job blocking that up to make sure that Gasser can't move into second base. Griffin Smith now from the stretch. Quick peek over to first base, and he comes set. 1-0 count for Goldenets. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle, strike 1.
Goldenets has some pop in his bat. He definitely likes to send them down the lines as well, so he might want to pull one to the right field line.
1-1 count, 1 out, 1 runner on. Here's the pitch from Smith. In the dirt, blocked by Thine. It's ball 2.
And Thine might be one of those types of underrated catchers right there with a good block, but it's not just the physical aspects of the catcher. He also likes to amp up his players and keep his pitchers in high morale.
2-1 offer to Goldenets. Swung on, smack past Ryan Shawnsby. He can't make a play on it. It's going to roll into the corner. Rounding second. Gasser's going to round third. He's in to score. Goldenets head first slide into third. It's an RBI triple to make it a 2-1 ball game.
And just as I was mentioning before that, Goldenets likes to pull them and rip them into the outfield, and Hartman might not have had the best beat on it and not a great throw as well. So he got to take advantage of that, and Goldenets advances his hit into a triple as well. And 2 triples are the reasons that both teams have their runs on the board. It's been an electric start to the game, and especially just this 3rd inning.
And up to bat, it's Smith Chandler, who's back in the game after that collision with the wall in center field. And the first pitch to him is a breaking ball over the plate for strike 1. And we thought Smith Chandler was going to be taken out of this game to be replaced by Reed Montgomery, but it seems Smith is okay and he's back in the game. Next pitch is lined into center field. Will this ball get down? Yes, it will. It touches down in front of Trevor Smith. Coming in to score, it's Goldenets. This game is tied. What a smack by Smith Chandler to drive in the tying run.
And I feel like I just got deja vu to the top of the second. A hit, a triple, a hit, and now it's a tie ball game. Both teams with 3 hits and 2 runs.
The Long Beach Dirtbags basically just say, hey, anything you can do, I can do better. They tie up this ball game 2-2. RBIs from Trevor Goldenets and now Smith Chandler. Noah Thine will come out to talk with Griffin Smith really quickly.
Thine's going to have to calm Smith down and can't let the Indians get away from you right here. And both sides have to learn that.
It brings up Trotter Enright, the shortstop. And he's playing second base today. And a quick pickoff attempt over to first base, not in time. They can't get Chandler. He's in safely. I should say that Enright is playing shortstop today. Gasser is playing second. Yesterday, they were flipped.
Just a flip-flop between the right and the left infielders down the middle.
0-0 pitch. No, they're going to pick over to first base again to just check in on Chandler and make sure that he doesn't swipe a bag.
And this might be just a good plan from Smith to slow the game down, get a little more focused and endured in, and not let Trotter Enright extend this lead for the Dirtbags.
Griffin Smith from the stretch. He lifts, he fires. Swung on and drilled into right field, backing up Hartman. Does he have a beat on it at the warning track? Makes the catch. Chandler Smith is going to have to scamper back into first base. It's the second out of the inning, and Enright doesn't get all of that ball on the bat.
That was so close to making this a 2-run game. Enright seemed like that was gone. Like off of the bat, that seemed like that was going to go into the Jared Weaver bullpen, but great job by Hartman to track it down and bring up the second out of the inning, and it is still tied.
And Trotter Enright looked like he just pimped that ball. Looked like he got every single bit of it, but clearly just a little too much underneath it. Makes it a bit of an easy catch for Hartman out there in right field. And it brings up Dylan Lena. He's playing first base today. 0-0 pitch to him. Pitch out, and there you have no throw down to first base. So waste a pitch there. It's 1-0 on Dylan Lena. One out count to Lena. 2 outs. runner on first. It's a tie ball game, 2-2 after a pair of back-to-back RBIs. And now Noah Thine's going to call time. Looks like he's got something in his eye. He's talking with the home plate umpire about it. And coming out for a mound visit is Nathan Schultz. So they're going to bring the infield in to talk to Griffin Smith and try and see if they can't get this inning back under control. They got 2 outs, but they also have a runner on, and they've already given up 2 runs off a flurry of hits.
And it was in the same order that Washington State did it, a single, triple, single. Kind of, as you said, anything you can do, I can do better. And they did that all with 1 out, so they still have potential to do more damage afterwards. The F9 from Enright didn't lead to any more runs, but Lena has a chance to either advance the runner with a walk or try to even drive him in if he can get it sent deep in the outfield.
And they'll break off the mound visit. Nathan Schultz going to talk a little bit here with the head coach umpire who's come out to check in on him. But he's just trying to calm down Griffin Smith a little bit. Griffin Smith coming into this game had a 5.23 ERA on the year. He made 3 appearances, 2 of which were starts. And he, of course, came in relief in yesterday's game as well, so his arm is definitely a little taxed. I won't be surprised if, he might struggle a little bit in this game. As Dylan Lena will dig himself back into the batter's box. He's got a 1-0 count, 1 runner on, a tie ball game, 2-2 here in the bottom of the 3rd. Griffin Smith will check to first. Chance Smith Chandler is at first. It's a big lead pick off over to first base. They got him! Griffin Smith catches Smith Chandler trying to get greedy. They pick him off at first base, and that's how the bottom of the 3rd comes to an end, but not before the Long Beach Dirtbags score 2 runs off of 3 hits, no errors, and leave 1 runner left on base. This is Cougar Baseball coming to you from Long Beach, California on KUGR. We'll be back in just a few moments.
And if you can correctly predict which half the ball is under at the end, you will have the Jays Hot Chicken gift card. Grayson goes 3. Grayson G. Congratulations. Jays Hot Chicken gift card from your way. Great job.
The Cougs and the Dirtbags going blow for blow here early on in the matchup. Washington State got a single, a triple, then a single to make it a 2-0 ball game. And then just in the bottom of the 3rd, Long Beach State did the exact same thing. A single, a triple, and then a single to make it a 2-2 ball game to tie it up. But now we're in the top of the 4th. Jason Gerfer still on the mound for Long Beach, and Dane Chavez, the freshman from Kennewick, up to bat for Washington State. And the first pitch to him is just a bit inside for ball 1.
And I mean, the electricity from the bats came alive in the 3rd inning. See if it continues in the 4th.
The 1-0 offering clips the outside corner for strike 1, evens it up, 1 ball and 1 strike here in the top of the 4th. Like we said, a tie ball game, 2-2.
Dane Chavez was one of those guys who already has a hit or got technically a hit on the day, but it was considered an error or not an error at first. Then it was switched to an error. So he is able to get on base with some power, and the catch was not only made by Lena because of the power from the hit from Chavez.
The 1-1 missed outside. It's 2-1. Here's the next offering. Low and inside. Chavez was squaring to bunt, but pulled it back, and it makes it 3-1. A hitter's count now for the freshman from Kennewick. Chavez was the number 6 ranked shortstop out of high school, number 12 overall player in Washington. He's got a good count here against Gerfer. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle for strike 2. Fills it up. 3 balls and 2 strikes. No outs. Nobody on. It's a tie ball game. 2-2. We're on the top of the 4th. Chavez trying to lead off this inning in a good way. He's got Noah Thine coming up after him. Payoff pitch from Gerfers. Here it is. High and outside. It's a leadoff walk to Dane Chavez. And now the Cougs have a leadoff base runner with Noah Thine coming to the plate.
Chavez with great discipline right there. Got up to 2 strikes, but still able to stay in, read every single pitch, and now he's on base for a second time today.
So Noah Thine's going to dig himself into that lefty's batter's box. Noah Thine's the senior. He's out of DeWitt, Iowa. Did 2 years at Des Moines Community College before he transferred to Washington State last year. I've mentioned a couple times, last year was just not the best year for Thine. Only played 19 games, batted 114. Now he's got an opportunity to possibly drive in Chavez. Runner on first base, no outs. Here's the first pitch. High and tight, but it just ticks the corner. Strike 1 to Thine.
And the infield's kind of coming in on this play. They're expecting Thine to go for another bunt. That's what he did in the top of the second. He did a sacrifice bunt to advance the runner. And right now Long Beach ready for it.
The freshman Gerfers comes set. He's from the stretch. Takes a breath. Quick check to first base. Picks over, but not in time. Chavez is back in safely. Gets the hand there. And Lena just is not able to get the tag on it.
Gerfer's kind of prepared for the pressure, or at least Long Beach wants him to be. He was actually their opening day starter. Interesting to see it coming out of a true freshman.
They'll pick over again. Still checking over on Chavez. Washington State wearing their all gray jerseys today. Long Beach wearing their black tops and white pants. It's got to be a little toasty for them in those black jerseys. It's no 1 count for Thine, but they're going to pick over for the 3rd time, and 3rd time was not the charm that time. Noah Thine steps out for a moment, takes a breath, and digs himself back in. He's got an 0-1 count. Still no outs here in the top of the 4th. A tie ball game, 2-2. Here's the pitch. He squares the bunt. He gets it down right back to Gerfers. He scoops it up, shortens up, flips to first base to get the out. But Dane Chavez will move into second, so he is in scoring position for Gavin Roy, who's coming up to the plate.
It's the same story for Noah Thine. Just kind of being a team player, advancing runners, and with a runner in scoring position, Gavin Roy and the top of the order coming up, it's a good position you want to be in for Washington State.
And Noah Thine bunted to move a runner up back in the 2nd inning. Of course, he did that with 1 out, and that was the 2nd out of that inning. And now it's the 1st out of this inning with Gavin Roy up to the plate. He's got a runner in scoring position. Gerfers winds, and he fires. Low and inside. It's ball 1. Gavin Roy, we said it a couple times, he's the senior from Sudbury, Ontario, a Canadian kid. Played 2 years at Cloud County Community College, along with Cam McLeod and Scott Ringett, who are also on the Cougs this year. Gerfers will check on Chavez, lifts and fires. Breaking ball inside, ball 2. It's a 2-ball, no strike count for Gavin Roy. And last season with the Cougs, he was phenomenal. Bat 288. Had 60 hits, 5 doubles, 36 RBIs, and stole as team-leading 8 bases. 2-0 offering for Gavin Roy. Long hold from Gerfers. A pickoff attempt over to second base. Did they get him? No, not in time. Chavez just snuck the hand in there, but that was definitely a close play.
Gerfers and Gasser were on the perfect page with one another. They almost got him at second base, but good job getting back.
Gavin Roy awaits his 2-0 offering. Trying to drive in Chavez at second. Here is the pitch. Swung on, foul, straight back and into the netting. It makes it a 2-ball and 1 strike count on the senior from Sudbury. You mentioned it before. It's 77 degrees and sunny here in Long Beach, California. Not a cloud in sight here at Blair Field, home of the Long Beach Dirtbags. They're hosting this 4-game, 3-day series. And Gerfers, a little bit of a mishap there, has to step off the rubber.
Well, it looks like Gasser was wanting another pickoff attempt. That time, Gerfers not on the same page, just have to take a small timeout.
2-1 count for Roy. Gerfers from the stretch, checks the second, lifts and fires. Swung on, lifted high and in the air, drifting over. It's Lena at first base. He's underneath it. Will he make the catch? Yes, he will. Closes the glove over the top of it. It's out number 2, and Chavez is in danger of getting stranded at second.
That was a great pitch from the freshman. Roy just kind of went in on his hands, popped up super high into the air, and Lena able to track it through the sunlight. Another great job catching the pop flies in the infield.
Well, it's back to the top of the order for Washington State. It's Trevor Smith, the freshman. We said out of El Calhoun, California. Comes to the Cougs from Granite Hill High School. He walked back in the first and popped out in the third. The first pitch to him is on the outside corner for strike one, and he falls behind early. 2 outs. 2-out production was what the Cougs were able to get back in the third, where they made it a 2-0 ball game. And now Trevor Smith's got 2 outs, a runner on second base. Tied up 2-2 here in the fourth. Smacks that ball right to Lena. He swallows it up, and he'll step on first base to get the out. And that will do it for the top of the fourth inning. The Cougs strand Dane Chavez at second base, and it remains a 2-2 ball game. We're deadlocked as we move into the bottom of the fourth here in Long Beach, California. Cougar baseball on KUGR Cougar College Radio.
Baseball playing into the 2. Congratulations, players taking 2 passes to the Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach. Great job.
What do we got there for you?
Dylan Lena will continue his at-bats. It was cut short after Smith Chandler got picked off in the third innings. Griffin Smith just caught him on an island, threw him out at first base. So now the senior, Dylan Lena, will dig himself back into the batter's box with a blank canvas, fresh slate, no balls, no strikes, and no outs. We're tied up 2-2 here in the bottom of the fourth in Long Beach. Lena gets into the box. Righty on righty. Griffin Smith takes a breath, winds and fires. Swung on and grounded right up the middle into center field, out of the reach of Gavin Roy. And Dylan Lena just smashes the first pitch he sees into center field for a leadoff single.
And Lena might be a little annoyed and ticked off. Those errors were attributed to him. And now, ever since then, he's been very locked in. He had himself a walk, and then right there, he had himself a hard hit ball up the middle. Great job getting on base in the past 2 at-bats from the first baseman.
It brings up Matt Toomey, starting in right field today. He's a sophomore out of Mammoth Lake, California. And Toomey reached base back in the second on a fielder's choice. And the first pitch to him, right down the middle for strike one.
And Toomey's not one of those guys that'll be walked a lot. He's one of the guys that wants to put contact onto the ball, has 10 hits on the year to go along with the 7 runs.
Griffin Smith from the stretch checks on Lena and delivers the 0-1. A breaking ball that is just smacked high in the air to right field. Max Harmon's going to take a few steps in to get underneath it and make the grab. It's an F9 to get Toomey. And now there's 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. We're still tied up 2-2.
And that was a very high fly ball. Power was there. The angle was not. And that was a good play by Hartman to just track it. Only had to walk forward a couple steps, as you mentioned, and easy 1 out there. Get Smith out of this jam with a man on first.
And now it's Jake Evans starting at third base today. He'll dig himself into the righty's batter's box. He's got 1 out and a runner on first. And the first pitch to him just misses the top rail. Ball 1. Jake Evans, a sophomore. He's a Long Beach native from Long Beach, California. And last year, with Dirtbags, batted 192 and OPS 667. as the 0-1-0 is just smacked into left field. Dustin Robbins is going to drift over to his right. He's underneath it at the warning track, reaches up and makes the catch for out number 2. Lena has to run back into first base, and now there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th with a runner on for Long Beach.
And Long Beach kind of taking their approach to a different level. A couple balls now hit to the warning tracks. I believe Enright was the first one that went to right field and was tracked down by Hartman, and that one Robinson was able to get to, but 2 close calls for getting bombs that were both going to be 2 shots, unable to get them over the wall, and Griffin Smith still keeping it at a tie game.
Now it's going to bring up the 7-hole hitter, Caden Smaka. He's a lefty facing against the righty, Griffin Smith. And this is Smaka's first year with Long Beach. As the pitch from Griffin Smith is just too low, and it's ball 1. And Caden Smaka played with the College of Southern Nevada before coming to Long Beach. And last year, he batted .414 and OPS 1.112. Phenomenal numbers from Smaka. Next pitch is drilled into right center field, backing up Trevor Smith. He's got a beat on it. He's underneath it, reaches up, makes the grab, and that does it for the inning. The Dirtbags get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. We're still tied up 2-2 after the 4th inning. We will move into the top of the 5th. You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR, Cougar College Radio. We'll be back in just a few moments. The Cougs get a trio of flyouts to every single member of the outfield. Toomey flew out to right field, Evans flew out to left, and then Caden Smaka flew out to center field. And now the Cougs are going to have an opportunity to possibly break open this game, tied up 2-2 with Kyler Northrup coming to the plates. And on play-by-play, it's Nathan Eshelman.
Thank you, Smith. And here in the top of the 5th, still a tie ball game, 2-2. Kyler Northrup still working against the freshman pitcher Gerbers. And Jason Gerber's first delivery to Northrup goes outside, ball 1. 1-0 count with 0 outs in the top of the 5th. Kyler Northrup and his first 2 at-bats went deep, lined out to left field, and then fly out to right field. Second delivery goes inside for a ball, 2-0, 0 outs. Gerbers, perhaps the wind, to deliver. Swing and a miss. 2-1 now the count to Northrup.
And Kyle Northrup last year was a really, really phenomenal hitter. He batted .291 last year in 37 games played. He's the guy that you might forget about sometimes, but he can really get clutch hits when you need him to.
Struggling a little bit this year. The delivered from Gerbers, fouled into the dugout of Long Beach on the left side. 2-2 goes the count.
If you look at last year for Kyle Northrup as well, he had a 17-game hitting streak at one point, and he had 10 multi-hit games. So he was a guy who you would just put him into games, and he would find ways to get hits.
Gerbers winds, delivers, fouled to a similar spot, redo the 2-2. And Northrup, as well as he hit last year so far to begin this season, he has 34 at-bats and only 5 hits in those, really struggling to put the contact of the ball into the outfield. Gerbers winds and delivers. down the middle. Northrup goes down looking, and it's a first out and first strikeout of the day for Long Beach.
Yeah, it's just a brutal way to go down for Kyler Northrup. You got into a tough count, 2-2. You're able to foul off a couple more to just kind of stay alive. But then you go down looking. I'll tell you, a looking strikeout is one of the least competitive at-bats you can possibly have. But now you got Max Hartman to the plate, and let's see if the result is a little different for him.
Hartman was the one who started the scoring in the top of the third, got on base, and led to the Dustin Robinson triple, brought him in to score. And he takes a ball outside, 1-0 goes the count. And Hartman, he's been one of the more consistent batters both this year and last year for Washington State. Rivers winds and feeds, goes inside. Valdez wasn't even able to make the catch. Goes to 2-0 now. 1 out in the top of the fifth. Washington State only able to get those hits in the third inning. 0 hits besides it. Jason Gerbers agrees on a pitch. Winds, delivers another inside ball. 3-0 now to Hartman.
And Max Hartman last year with the Cougs was really, really fun to watch. He had 363, had 61 hits and 9 doubles. So he was a guy who could hit for power when you need him to. He has one of the home runs here for this year for the Cougs.
Gerber's pitch finds and clips the top corner on Hartman. 3-1 goes the count. Hartman was able to deliver with a single in a similar high count situation. Delivery goes high that time, though, and Hartman reaches base with a walk.
That's a great at-bat there from Max Hartman to follow up that Kyler Northrup looking strikeout. You draw a walk, now you got a runner on, and you got the crowd favorite Dustin Robinson up to the plate.
Dustin Robinson getting a standing ovation each time he comes to the plate. Last time it encouraged him to send one to left field, almost cleared the wall, still brought in a Washington State run where then he was brought in to bring their lead to 2. It was followed up by 2 straight runs the very same inning. A fake steal attempt from Hartman. Ball goes low on Robinson. 1-0 count. Hartman does not steal. But now Valdez going to go to the mound to have a chat with Gerfers, probably to talk about Hartman's aggressiveness on first base.
And we should say, too, when I got here to the ballpark, I was here with Brandon Chapman, who's traveling with us for these games. You're down kind of in the photography well, and Dustin Robinson was coming back from the hitting barn after taking his at-bats, and he had his glove with him. He was walking back, and we stopped him. We were asking him about the walk-up song that played for him. And while we were sitting there talking to him, a bunch of young fans who've traveled all the way to come watch him play came up and were saying, hey, Dustin, Dusty. They wanted to talk to him. He is a fan favorite. People really love him here in Pullman, or back at home in Pullman.
Well, Dusty ready to deliver. Gerfers out of the meeting, stretches the delivery. Robinson, deep shot to left field, just goes foul into the Long Beach bullpen. The count goes 1-1.
And that's Oppo again. That was where Dustin Robinson's triple went. He went to left center field. He's a lefty batter, so he had to go Oppo taco to smack that one into left center. He fouls that one off to left field as well. So I love to see lefties going Oppo.
Jason Gervers goes to first base, trying to pick off Hartman. Hartman gets back safely. Lena not really making a competitive move to try to get Hartman on the bag. 1-1 count still to Robinson. 1 out in the top of the fifth. Tie ball game 2-2. Jason Gervers delivers. Goes outside on Robinson. 2-1 now the count.
And I should say, too, Dustin Robinson had that triple, right? And I remember mentioning that he's 6'4", so he's a freight train moving. But then you look at the fact that he stole 9 bases last year with Cypress Community College. So he has definitely got some speed.
He already has 2 steals on the season as well. A lot of speed and size. Another pickoff attempt on first base. Hartman gets back safely. That one was a little bit closer, but Lena still unable to make the tag. And Gervers not letting Hartman scare him. Still hanging in there at the top of the fifth. 1 out in the inning. 2-1 count still to Robinson. Gervers collects himself. Throws back to first base once again. If this was the MLB, Hartman would be taken second, but he stays at first. College rules can pick off as many times as you need to be. And Gervers still waiting to deliver the 4th pitch to Robinson. Sets himself. Wine to deliver. Finds the zone, clips the left side. 2-2 goes the count. And a double play ball might be in play if Robinson's unable to get it on the air.
I will say, though, Nathan, it's a bit of deja vu. Max Hartman on first base, Dustin Robinson to the plate. What happened last time they were in the situation?
Deep triple. Robinson maybe looking to do the same thing. Another pickoff attempt on first base. Hartman gets back safely. Couple of boos from the crowd. 2-2 still the count. Robinson only has 4 pitches in this at bat. A lot of it due to a lot of pickoff attempts. Gerver sets in. The stretch and delivery. Swing and a miss on the inside. Robinson goes down swinging. 2 outs now in the inning.
That's just a beautiful breaking ball there from Jason Gerfers. You get 2-2 count. You're able to compete against the redshirt sophomore Dustin Robinson, who last time took you to the opposite field, took you to the left center field for a triple, and now you put a back foot slider on him to sit him down. That's just a great way to compete from Gerfers. But now you got Mason Perello up. He's got an RBI in this game as well. You got 2 outs, and 2-out production has kind of been a plus for the Cougs thus far.
Another pickoff attempt on Hartman at first base. Perello gets in the box, doesn't get to swing his bat yet. 0-0 count, 2 outs. Hartman still on first base in the top of the 5th, tie ball game. There is a little bit of movement in the Long Beach bullpen. Tyler Gebb warming up. Another pickoff attempt on Hartman at first base. Gets back safely once again.
We should note, too, that the walk to strikeout ratio for Gerfers is finally evened up. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts for Gerfers. So as rough as a start he got to this outing, he's been able to work himself back into it and really try and keep the Cougs contained.
Gerfers winds, delivers. It is a hit and run situation going deep to left center field. It drops down, hits the back wall. Hartman rounds third and scores at home. Perello with a 1 RBI double brings the Cougars with a 1-run lead, 3-2 in the top of the 5th.
Nathan, if you open up the dictionary and flip to hit and run, that is what shows up every single time. Hartman takes off for second base. Perello gets a good ball to hit and just crushed it to left center field. Nothing Golden Nets or Smith Chandler could do to track it down. It bounces to the wall. Hartman's he's a quick guy. Max Hartman is incredibly fast, able to round the base, get into home to score. And now it's 3-2. Washington State takes back the lead. And now you got Ryan Shawnsby up to bat.
Jason Gerfers gets a pitch to Johnsby, gets it over the second baseman, and rounding around third is Perello. Perello scores, and Johnsby with another back-to-back RBI gets it onto first base. 2-run lead for Washington State now in the top of the 5th.
Well, you'll hear it said a lot. When it rains, it pours, and that's been the case for both sides, for Long Beach and for Washington State. When they've gotten RBIs, they followed them up immediately with another RBI right after it. So they're not content with just scoring 1 run. They keep getting back-to-back hits, back-to-back RBIs, continuing to put on pressure. And now here comes head coach TJ Bruce for Long Beach to come out and talk to Gerfers.
And it believes that they are going to finish his day just before the ending of the top of the 5th. Tyler Gebb looking like he's going to be the man to take the mound in relief. And while he warms up, we're going to go to break. You're listening to KUGR College Baseball Radio.
Your attention please for Long Beach State. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by the Port of Long Beach. WG for your dads, number 50, Dana Woodson.
Still in the top of the 5th inning, Washington State having some momentum with a 1 RBI double and another RBI following that from Ryan Shonsby. Washington State 2 runs in this inning, 4-2 now the lead, and incoming for relief is Van Larson for the Long Beach Dirtbags. It was a good effort by Gervers, but now in comes the relief left-hander working against Dane Chavez. Lefty on lefty matchup, 2 outs in the inning. Shonsby still on first base. First delivery catches the zone. 0-1 count now to the second baseman. Van Larson, 3 innings pitched so far this season, has given up 5 runs. But his second delivery catches the zone once again. 0-2 now, advantage to Larson working against Chavez. Larson checks first base. The wind to deliver. Swing, and Chavez sends it to right field. It's collected by Tooney, but rounding second was Shonsby, and he slides in safely to third. A base hit knock for Chavez brings Shonsby to third, and now the runners are on the corners for Washington State.
And right now, you're just seeing the approach for the Cougs. It has always been get it to the next guy, pass the torch, pass the bat to the next guy, back-to-back hits, back-to-back RBIs. When it rains, it pours. Dane Chavez gets another one, and now the job falls on to Noah Thine, the senior. He's got an opportunity with Shonsby on third, Chavez on first, to be able to bring in at least one. But if he gets a hold of one, he could just launch one into the Jared Weaver bullpen.
In just his 3 innings, Van Larson has given up 12 base runners. And a first delivery to Noah Thine as he steps into the plate. Goes and catches the zone. 0-1 now, 2 outs. Runners on the corners. Larson might have struggled so far this year, but he checks first base. Tries to pick him off, but getting back was Chavez. Didn't really show any sign of a steal, but Long Beach staying true to their pitching. Anytime there's a guy on first, you must try to pick him off.
It was a decent move there from Larson as well. Kind of really sold it, really thought he was going home, and then really quick snapped over to first base. So a good lefty pickoff move.
Larson winds, delivers a Thine, clips him on the elbow, and now bases are loaded for Gavin Roy.
And there you see the walks, hit by pitches. That's what plagued Long Beach yesterday. And Noah Thine wears another one. He got hit by 2 pitches yesterday in that game against Long Beach, and now he wears another one. So now it's bases loaded, 2 outs for Gavin Roy, the senior from Sudbury. He's got a golden opportunity to just get a hold of one and just launch it somewhere.
Hit by pitches just kind of surround Long Beach as a whole. Their game against BYU earlier in the series, it actually was an NCAA record for most hit by pitches in a game with 10. So both offensively and defensively, it's been affecting them. But first pitch to Gavin Roy goes high and inside, ball 1. And Gavin Roy with the chance to deliver in a major way with bases loaded. 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Washington State already with 2 runs scored this inning, bringing their lead to the 4-2. Larson's delivery on Roy again goes outside. 2-0 goes the count. The lefty reliever coming in already not in a great situation, but now he's put 2 more men on base, and it's ripped into left field. Roy drives in one, rounding third, and coming in to score was Chavez, and with another single and base knock, Gavin Roy extends Washington State lead, and a 4-run scored in this inning.
I keep saying it, Nathan, and I'll say it again. When it rains, it pours. Back to back to back to back. Runners getting on base, hits, RBIs. This is how you just grind teams down into the ground. It's 6-2, Washington State leading. And now you got the switch hitting freshman in center field, Trevor Smith, coming to bat from the right side for the first time today.
Working against the lefty, Trevor Smith has been dominant in their game against Long Beach. First pitch, though, a swing and a miss, breaking ball. Great job by Larson to stick in there, but he's got to deliver 2 more.
And if Trevor Smith reaches, then it'll be Kyler Northrup coming up to bat, who led off this inning. So he would have batted around for the Cougs if Trevor Smith can get on base.
The wind and deliver. Low and inside. Count goes to 1-1. 2 outs in the inning. Runner on second and first. Noah Thine and Gavin Roy. Thine, the catcher, might not have too much speed, so this hit will have to go into the outfield. Larson checks him, swings, or sets and delivers. High ball inside. 2-1 count to Trevor Smith.
And Trevor Smith, you're trying to follow up Gavin Roy, who had that hit, and a number of other Cougs who also have hits as well. It can put some pressure on you to try and just be able to pass the torch again.
Winds and delivers. Trevor Smith lines it to the shortstop and right, and that will do it for the top of the 5th. The Washington State Cougars, a dominant offensive inning. 4 runs put up along with their 4 hits. Washington State with a 4-run lead. Long Beach trying to match their efforts in the bottom of the 5th.
Danny's our contestant up here today. Danny's got 10 seconds. Today's main fast food restaurants of the game, and we'll see how many cars to look in the game. Danny's stay focused here on your mark. Get set, go. All right, I think we got 10 of them in there in 10 seconds. That was pretty impressive. Let's see how many cars to look in the game. Congratulations today. Connor in the game. You're going to want to give her a courtesy of the San Pedro Fish Market. Great job.
Oh, he's on the other side?
We're here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Washington State put up a dominant 5th inning. 4 runs go along with 4 hits. They now have the 4-run lead, but when Washington State scored their 2 runs in the 3rd, Long Beach followed up by scoring 2 of their own. They're going to be looking to match the momentum of Washington State in the bottom of the 5th. Damon Valdez, the catcher, leading off. Griffin Smith still on the mound for Washington State, and his first delivery is a strike. 0-1 count to Damon Valdez.
And Valdez is a freshman from Long Beach, so he's a native. He's 6'3", a bit of a big guy. He played football in high school, kind of, to go along with that 6'3" stature.
Griffin Smith's second delivery goes away and low. 1-1 count to Valdez. Big frame for a catcher. He could have some pop, and anything into the outfield would get the momentum going for Long Beach. Griffin Smith, 3rd pitch, another outside low ball. 2 pitches in a row where it just seems like it wasn't that close to the zone. Griffin Smith sets, winds and delivers. That one catches the zone down the middle, 2-2 to Damon Valdez. The catcher only with a 154 batting average right now, 2 hits on the year and 13 at-bats. Smith winds and delivers. Catches the top of the bat, barely fell back, but they're going to go again on the 2-2.
Yeah, way to battle there from Valdez. I mean, I know you just barely got a piece of it here, and you're chasing after a top shelf fastball, but you need to get anything close. You need to get a barrel to something, stay alive, work quality at bat, and if you can keep working quality at bats, you can chase Smith out of the game.
Griffin Smith sets and delivers. Outside goes a ball 3. Full count now to the catcher. Struck out earlier on a full count. Valdez got to stay in there. Full count delivery. Griffin Smith sets and delivers. Outside goes ball 4. And Valdez with a great at-bat reaches base.
That's brutal there for Griffin Smith. You started out the at-bat great with a middle fastball that he took all the way, and then you lose when he wiggled off the hook, and now they got a leadoff base runner. And I say it a lot, leadoff walks score almost every single time. And now you got Camden Gasser coming up to bat. You got a lefty batter, righty pitcher, good matchup, runner on first, no outs. I wouldn't be surprised if Long Beach starts to chip into that 6-2 lead.
A lot of momentum can be gained right here. Gasser, one of those guys who could get on base at a large rate. And the first delivery from Smith to Gasser is going to be a strike. 0-1 goes the count. Runner on first base in a 4-run ball game. 6-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Washington State holds the lead. Griffin Smith sets and delivers. Outside goes the pitch. 1-1 count to Camden Gasser. Usually the guy known for walks, but he does have a hard hit single up the middle earlier in the game in the bottom of the 3rd when they had their big scoring run. Griffin Smith sets and delivers once again, catches the outside corner. 1-2 goes the count.
He's definitely a threat. Like you mentioned, he singled back in the 3rd and came around to score. So he's one of the 2 runs that the Dirtbags have so far in this game. It's 6-2 Washington State leading. But he's a guy who can get a clutch base hit right here and could possibly bring in Valdez.
Griffin Smith sets and delivers. Fouled straight to the Long Beach dugout. Hard hit. Seems like it hit one of their guys on the back. Had to jump out of the way. Still a 1-2 count. Runner on first base is Damon Valdez. And while he may be a very large frame, I don't know if he's much of a threat to be stealing bases. Griffin Smith sets and delivers. Outside goes the 5th pitch, and it's going to be ball 2, 2-2 count. 0 outs in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, Valdez has stolen no bases on 0 attempts, so definitely no one's really expecting him to be going anywhere there at first base.
Smith still checks on him. Sets and delivers. Another ball to the outside. A second straight at bat with a full count. 3-2. 0 outs in the inning. Camden Gasser already has 20 walks on the season and walked 3 times in the last matchup against Washington State. Maybe getting another one right here. Griffin Smith takes a deep breath, sets and delivers. It's a ball outside. Gasser likes to take his bases with some walks, and he does it once again. Gets onto first base.
Man, back-to-back walks, and now you got Trevor Goldnetz coming up for his 3rd at-bat of the day. I mean, this is just brutal for the Cougs because now you're in a really, really tight spot. Trevor Goldnetz is a phenomenal hitter. He's batting .343 so far this year. He's slugging .340, and he's slugging .343 as well, so he matches his average and his slugging percentage as well. 12 hits, 3 RBIs, so he's a guy that can really do some damage at the plate.
And it appears that there are 2 arms working in the bullpen, 2 right-handed arms. A little hard to see from here, but Griffin Smith will have to get out of this tough scenario against one of the better hitters, as you were mentioning, for Long Beach. Smith checks first. Now checks second. Sets and delivers. A bunt attempt from Goldnetz goes foul to the left. 0-1 goes the count.
A bunt and run situation there because you saw Valdez at second takeoff and Gasser at first takeoff, and then Goldnetz technically got the bunt down but foul. So they're definitely trying to take a page out of the Cougs book and play some small ball. Get those bunts, get those bunt and run situations, cause some chaos, make it hard for Wazoo to get you out.
Griffin Smith checks second. The stretch in the delivery. It's a bunt that's driven to first base. Shonsby tags Goldnetz out on the run. A little bit of a stare down afterwards, a little bit of bumping and shoving. But Goldnetz will head back to the dugout. 1 out. Runners do advance to second and third base. And it brings up Smith Chandler.
Yeah, Shawnsby and Golden Knights were definitely exchanging some words. You saw that there where Shawnsby came in to make the play, fielded it, and then just like kind of punched the tag onto Golden Knights. The way you're supposed to do it. You got to tag him out there, and then of course does move the runners up. But then Shawnsby and Golden Knights were exchanging some words. Definitely, they don't know what they were saying, but I don't think we want to hear it on the broadcast.
Well, now Smith Chandler is taken out of the game for Reed Montgomery in left field. Montgomery sets in from the 2 spot. First delivery goes low and outside, 1-0 to the left fielder. Montgomery only has 6 plate appearances, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, one of them being a double. Griffin Smith delivers a low ball, almost clips Montgomery on the foot, but ends up just being a ball. 2-0 goes the count. Runners on second and third. Valdez on third. Gasser on second. Griffin Smith sets, delivers. Another inside ball. That one does clip Reed Montgomery on the hip, and it'll be bases loaded with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. And Trotter Enright, who barely missed out on a home run earlier, has a chance to tie it up with 1 swing of the bat.
That's a tough one there for Griffin Smith. Just missed too far inside. Get off the, like you mentioned, off the hip of Reed Montgomery. He's coming into the game relieving Smith Chandler. So now, bases loaded. You got Trotter Enright up to bat. He's a good hitter. He's batting a flat 300 on the air. He's played every single game. He's got 9 RBIs. And, like we said, he barely missed out on a home run earlier in the game. Now he could potentially snag 4 RBIs with just 1 swing of the bat.
Something also interesting to see with the wind, it is pushing out towards the outfield, so anything that is hit in the air could be carried just a little bit extra to help him out. A mound visit from Nathan Choate. They're going to keep Griffin Smith in the ball game to try to get him out of this tough situation.
Yeah, there's 1 out here. We're in the bottom of the 5th. It's a 6-2 game. Washington State's leading by 4 runs. But I think I've said it a lot of times. In college baseball, a 4-run lead really isn't anything to, brag about. That can evaporate really quick, so you got to do everything you can to just get out of this inning.
And it's been free passes. Griffin Smith, first pitch, Trotter Enright shows bunt, but pulls back as it was inside and low. 1-0 goes the count. 1 out in the inning. Enright doesn't want to hit anything too hard into the infield as a chance of a double play to get no runs. Griffin Smith winds and delivers. Catches the bottom of the zone. Long Beach State fans unhappy with the call from umpire behind the plate, McMahon. Ends up being 1-1 with 1 out. Griffin Smith stretches and delivers. That one goes low. 2-1 goes the count. Enright no longer showing bunt.
I think you mentioned it there, Nathan, that every single base runner right now for Long Beach has all been free passes. It was Valdez walked, then Gasser walked, and then Montgomery, who got hit by that pitch.
Smith sends one, and Trotter Enright was very early on it, but he absolutely ripped it high and out of the ballpark, going to the parking lot. 2-2 goes the count. Trotter Enright wants to tie this ball game up with 1 swing.
And that was just a moonshot swing, but just didn't quite get it into fair territory.
Smith winds and delivers, goes inside once again, almost clips Enright in a similar fashion to Montgomery, but now a full count situation with bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th inning. Griffin Smith takes a deep breath, stretch, delivers, swing and a miss, got him cutting at air, and it's now 2 outs for the pitcher on the mound for Washington State.
That is about as clutch as it gets. You strike out one of the better hitters on the Dirtbags roster. You sit him down, fan him, made it look silly, just blew it past him. And then, of course, now you got Dylan Lena up. He can really do some damage. He has the 1 home run on the year for Long Beach State. 2 outs, bases loaded. It is righty on righty, so he's at a bit of a disadvantage. But I would not be surprised if Lena gets something on the barrel and just launches it into left field.
Lena sets, ready to get the pitch from Smith. It goes outside, 1-0 now the count. 2 outs in the inning. Bottom of the 5th, Long Beach down 4, 6-2 in the ball game. Washington State trying to hold on to it with bases loaded. Griffin Smith sets, delivers another pitch to the outside. 2-0 advantage now to Dylan Lena.
And you probably hear it a little bit on the call there. There were some Go Cougs chants going on here on the right side of Blair Field. We mentioned a couple times, Coug fans travel really well, and they're really wanting Griffin Smith to get out of this bases-loaded jam.
Griffin Smith takes a deep breath, sets, delivers. This time goes inside, a 3-0 count to the first baseman. Dylan Lena has not had the best statistical season, but today has already reached on a walk in a single. Right now, something like that would be massive for his team. Griffin Smith, stretch, delivers. That one goes down the middle. 3-1 now goes the count.
Yeah, Lena just definitely did not have the green light there. It could have been a good pitch to hit, but he takes it. Now he's got himself a hitter's count, though. 3-1, bases loaded, 2 outs. Lena needs to come up clutch here for the Dirtbags.
Griffin Smith takes a deep breath. Stretch, deliver, outside, and it'll be a RBI walk for Dylan Lena. Coming in to score from third base was Valdez, and now the lead is cut to 3.
You'll hear it all the time in baseball when you got bases loaded and you got a 3-ball count to somebody. You'll hear people say all the time, you got nowhere to put him. You cannot afford to walk him because if you walk him, you bring in a run. It's a free RBI, basically, and that's what happened right there. And now here comes Nathan Show. He motions down to the bullpen, so I think that might be the end of the day for Griffin Smith.
And, I mean, he was able to get that strikeout on Trotter and right, but Lena just doing a great job not taking any bad swings that could get his team in a bad situation. Walks in the run, and as you mentioned, with the bullpen now being signaled too, this is most likely the end of the day for Griffin Smith, who ends up pitching 4 2/3, 4 hits, allowing 3 runs, 4 walks, and he did end up with 3 strikeouts as well. So not necessarily the best of days for Griffin Smith, but that'll do it for his day. And with that, they're going to go to the bullpen. We'll see who's coming out, but we're going to go to break. You're listening to KUGR Radio and college baseball. We're back here now in the bottom of the 5th. Still here at Blair Field in Bull Diamond. It's the Washington State Cougars taking on the Long Beach Dirtbags here in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs. It's a bases-loaded scenario. Griffin Smith loaded them up and going to the bullpen. Washington State is going to bring in freshman relief pitcher Ryan Falk. And Matt Toomey is up to bat, a left-handed batter working against the right-handed Falk. Runners on every single base. A 3-run lead for Washington State. One swing could change this ball game. Falk pitches into Toomey, almost hits him on the right leg, ends up just being ball 1.
And Ryan Falk was really good in his high school days. In his senior year, he had a 2.7 ERA and went undefeated 6-0 in all of his starts.
Falk takes a deep breath. Quick delivery, goes high and inside once again. 2-0 count now to the outfielder for Long Beach.
And Ryan Falk also, he's from Greenwood Village, Colorado, played with Cherry Creek High School. And last year, if they played 6A baseball, they won the 6A state championship.
Toomey waiting for the delivery. Falk sets in a strike that time with a lot of downhill speed on his pitches. Those fastballs just blow by. 2-1 goes the count. 2 outs, bases loaded scenario. Matt Toomey only has 4 RBIs on the season, 10 hits, 263 batting average. Waits, delivers a high fly ball to left field. Robinson gets under it and makes the out, and Ryan Falk saves a bases-loaded scenario. Dirtbags only able to score 1 from a Lima walk. 3 runners left on base. 0 hits in the inning, and the Washington State Cougars still hold a 6-3 lead over the Dirtbags.
I simply texted Speed Watch, all one word, to 22-322, and register to claim your free car wash. Listen, celebrate Speed Watch in Long Beach. Your attention please for Long Beach State. This call to Dirtbags brought to you by Boat Long Beach. Now reaching for your Dirtbags, number 32. Slye, yeah.
Washington State Cougars moving into the top of the 6th inning, ready to take a swing now into the game for the Long Beach Dirtbags. Reliever Tyler Gebb filling in the shoes for Van Larson, who was able to close out the top of the 5th against Washington State. 4 runs scored in that inning, a lot of them coming from back-to-back successful at-bats. Tyler Northrup stands in for Washington State, ready to go. Tyler Gebb, the right-handed pitcher, gives it to Northrup. Northrup puts down a bunt, collected by the third baseman, juggled though, and Northrup is able to make it safely to first base. Evans just unable to cleanly pick up the ball and deliver a throw, and Northrup gets an infield single.
That's the definition of catching him sleeping right there. A bunt down the third baseline. Evans can't quite make a play on it. The throw is late. Northrup's on first base. And now you got Max Hartman. He's a lefty batter going against the righty Tyler Gebb. So now he could really mash one into right field if he gets a good pitch to hit in this at-bat.
Tyler Gebb, in 2 innings that he has played, has 2 earned runs on top of 4 hits. Added another one right there. First delivery to Hartman, goes low and catches the zone. 0-1 count, 0 outs with the man on first base. Gebb checks first base. Now goes for a pickoff attempt, unable to get him. Safely back at first is Northrup. And Northrup, even though he plays third base, he does have some pretty good wheels for his own.
He's very, very fast. He could definitely be a base threat.
Gebb checks first base. Takes a breath. Stretch and delivers. A low ball just misses the zone on Hartman. 1-1 goes the count. And Hartman has been kind of a part of the scoring for Washington State every single inning that they score. So he'll want to get on base once again. Gebb goes back to first base for another pickoff attempt. Unable to get him on first base.
And every single time, it's just a consistent story. They don't want to let Washington State be aggressive or dangerous on the base paths. Tyler Gebb has a very long windup in routine, but this time he stretches and delivers. Hartman fouls it back. 1-2 goes the count.
And Tyler Gebb, he's a junior. He's out of Pleasanton, California, and did 1 year at the University of California, Riverside. And then he spent last year with the Dirtbags, and he had 28 appearances, none of which were starts. He's just strictly a relief man. He had a 7.54 ERA, so not the best ERA, but he made a lot of appearances last season.
Gebb delivers to Hartman. That one goes outside. 2-2 now the count. 3-run lead for Washington State in the top of the sixth. 0 outs. Kyle Northrup on first base. Max Hartman ready to add to this lead for Washington State. Gebb checks back to first. Pickoff attempt once again unsuccessful. Still 2-2 to Max Hartman.
She also mentioned, too, that Tyler Gebb, in that 1 year he played with UC Riverside, he played with his brother Jake. So they got the chance to be able to play with each other in community college. But then now, he's with the Dirtbags.
Gebb checks first. Delivers. Hartman kind of checks one on the ground. Picked up by Gasser, and an underhand toss to Lena brings the first out of the inning. Northrup does advance to second base, and in comes the man with the triple on the day, Dustin Robinson, to try to extend this lead for Washington State with Kyler Northrup on second.
Yeah, Dustin Robinson's putting together a pretty good day so far. He grounded out in the first, had that RBI triple in the third, and then struck out swinging in the fifth. But he has an opportunity to go 2 for 4 right now. It's his 4th at-bat of the game. You're facing Tyler Gebb, righty on lefty. It's a great opportunity to drive in Northrup.
Tyler Gebb checks second. Winds and delivers. Goes outside on Robinson. 1-0 goes the count. And Gebb appears to maybe be a little bit interesting with how he delivers it. Sometimes it's a little slow, and sometimes it's fast to confuse the hitter. Gebb checks second. Delivers, and it's fouled back. Hits the top of the net. 1-1 goes the count on Dustin Robinson.
Dustin Robinson's putting together a pretty good redshirt sophomore campaign thus far with the Cougs. He's batting .292 and slugging .417, and he's also got a couple doubles on the season, 3, now 1 triple if you factor in today.
Gebb shakes off the call from Valdez. Wants a better pitch. Now takes time.
When you can see him, he's got the pitch comment, so he's looking to the dugout. There's one of the assistant coaches or possibly head coach TJ Bruce is calling pitches for him, and he's shaking it off to him because he doesn't like what they're giving him.
Very specified with what he wants. This time he sends in a pitch to Robinson inside, fouled off of the ground. 1-2 goes the count to Robinson. Might have hit off of him.
And clearly that was the pitch that Gebb wanted, and I'll tell you, I liked it too. It was a great breaking ball that kind of started middle and then started to break towards the back foot of Dustin Robinson. That was one that he struck out on earlier in the 5th, so it's a good pitch to try and put it on his back foot.
Gebb checks second. Sets, delivers, swing and a miss on the inside. Dustin Robinson goes down swinging, and it's a great inside breaking ball from Tyler Gebb.
And it's almost the exact same pitch that you saw Robinson strike out on the first time. That breaking ball, it starts middle and then ends up too far inside. You can't get the barrel to it. A great pitch from Gebb to sit him down, and it's back-to-back strikeouts for Dustin Robinson. But now you got Mason Perello up, who has an RBI already in this game.
He has an RBI already in the game, top of the 5th when he had the double. And now with a man on second, any type of base hit would do it. And he grounds one up the middle, goes to center field, and rounding third is Northrup, touches home, and a base knock single brings in a run. Mason Perello delivers on the first pitch of the at-bat.
Mason Perello, have a day. He has 2 singles and a double, also reached on the hit by pitch. He is yet to have an at-bat where he has not reached base. So Mason Perello, the freshman from Sammamish, played at Skyline High School, is having a phenomenal last game of the series.
Having a great day from the DH spot. Now in stands Johnsby. Takes a ball to the outside. 1-0 goes the count. 2 outs in the inning. Washington State extends the lead to 4, 7-3. Now the score in the top of the 6. Jeb shakes off a couple more orders. Now sets and delivers inside. Ends up just being a ball. Ends up hitting Shonsby, but after it hits the ground, 2-0. Now the count, 2 outs.
Yeah, good job there by Valdez behind the dish as well to kind of try and block it up, keep it in front, and try and keep Perello close at first base.
Shonsby, the lefty, right against the righty. Geb's delivery goes outside once again. 3-0 count now to Shonsby.
We've mentioned a couple times, but Shonsby played at Cypress Community College with Dustin Robinson, who's now on the Cougs. Shonsby transferred in last year. Robinson transferred in this year. So it's a pair of Cypress Community College alums who are playing together here on the Palouse.
Playing good so far today as well. Geb's delivery goes outside, and Shonsby takes base off of 4 straight balls. 2 runners on now. Perello on second, Shonsby on first, and it brings up the second baseman, Dane Chavez.
It's a good spot here for Chavez. 2 outs, runners on first and second. I mean, 2-out production has been something the Cougs have been doing really well this year. They've done really well at it this game as well. So Dane Chavez, the freshman from Kennewick, he could possibly drive in Perello at second and maybe even Shonsby on first.
Chavez waits. The lefty batter takes strike 1. 0-1 goes the count. Washington State has definitely picked up the bats. They have 8 hits already just before the end of the top of the 6th, with the potential for more from Chavez. Geb checks second, stretches, delivers a great breaking ball that catches the middle of the zone. 0-2 goes the count on Chavez.
Yeah, a bit of a loopy kind of curved slider-esque pitch. Very slow, very mind-bending-esque pitch. And Chavez just wasn't ready for it, but let's see if he maybe adjusts and gets something to hit here in the 0-2 count.
Geb checks second, sets and delivers, goes outside. 1-2 now the count. Dane Chavez, one of those not necessarily on the Palouse, but Eastern Washington type of kids. He definitely is used to the weather of where it can get really hot, and coming to Long Beach where it gets to hot weather, he definitely likes it. Geb delivers an inside pitch, and trying to steal third and being thrown out is Perello. An interesting decision. It was in the dirt, but a great job by Valdez to throw him out, an absolute laser, and he had no chance stealing the bag, and that'll end the top of the 6th. Washington State only able to bring in 1 with all of their production. It's now 7-3 with the Dirtbags, with a chance to tie or to bring the runs closer in the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th, Long Beach Dirtbags in a desperate need for some good offense. They had bases loaded last inning, were only able to bring in 1 run, and Washington State going to the top 6, able to match it quickly. They're down 4, 7-3 in the bottom of the 6th. Jake Evans looking to take on Ryan Falk, who's still on the mound from last inning. Falk's delivery goes high, 1-0 goes the count, 0 outs. Top or bottom of the 6th, Long Beach needing some good, quick offense right here.
Now, Jake Evans, he's 0 for 2 so far today. Struck out in the 2nd and flew out in the 4th, so he's trying to go 1 for 3 right now.
Falk's delivery catches the zone, 1-1 now the count.
And Jake Evans is interesting. He was the number 18th ranked shortstop in California coming out of high school, but now he's played most of his games at third and second base. He's starting at third base today.
Falk delivers a high fastball that is delivered super high into the air as well, but it goes foul. No one able to make a play on it. 1-2 now the count.
And last year in his freshman year with Long Beach, Evans batted 192, had a .667 OPS, had 13 RBIs, 19 hits, but also struck out 39 times. So definitely struck out a lot last year.
Falk takes a deep delivery. Goes outside and low. 2-2 now the count to Jake Evans. And Jake Evans so far this year, in his 29 at-bats, he has 9 hits. So he's getting decent production, 4 doubles on top of that, and 4 walks. So he's not one of their bad bats. And right here, he clips one, going towards the outfield. Danny Chavez makes a diving catch, but unable to make the throw. Sliding in to first base was Jake Evans, and he's got himself a base hit.
That was just a pair of phenomenal diving plays for Chavez and for Evans as well. Chavez has to drift way over to his left. That's a ball that's kind of in no man's land-ish. He has to dive to make a play on it, smothered it, got to his feet, got the throw off quick. His hat fell off as he threw the ball so hard. It was a little bit high. Sean's had to reach up to try and make a grab on it, but Jake Evans got on his horse, dove headfirst into first to get his hand on the base. So a great job from Jake Evans. But now you bring up Caden Schmaka with an opportunity to bring him around.
Schmaka has only had 2 very quick at-bats, lined out to center field and then flew out to center field in pretty early pitches into the at-bats as well. Ryan Falk now being talked to by Nathan Choate. Umpire walking towards the bullpen. Interesting to see if Washington State will bring in a new arm, and that's exactly what they're going to do here in the bottom of the 5th with 0 outs. We're going to go to break, though, to see who this arm is. Don't go anywhere. 4-run ball game. Washington State looking to hold on to it. You're listening to KUGR Sports, Cougar Baseball.
Your attention please for Washington State. This call for the
Pulled my hand even. So you were put off.
Tabor Facts.
It's like Kobe.
They were using the head down rate. You know what I really, an album that I really have enjoyed this weekend? Really great. I love 12 to 12. Me too. That's a great song. It is very different. I like it a lot. The other one I like is
Back here in the bottom of the 6th inning, Long Beach State looking to close in on the lead that Washington State has built. 4-run advantage to the Cougars. Jake Evans on first base after an infield hit. And coming out of the mound for Washington State, Tabor Fast replaces Falk. And his first delivery for the left-hander catches the zone. 0-1 count now, 0 outs in the inning. Caden Schmaka ready to take a hard swing at the ball. Both of his at-bats earlier in the game were decided pretty early in the count. Both went into the outfield. Fast second delivery goes outside. 1-1 now the count.
And first year this year for Tabor Fast with Washington State, and he's off to a bit of a rocky start. He's got an 11.57 ERA, Granted, he didn't pitch at all last year. He was injured for all of 2025.
Tabor Fast checks first base, sends the delivery in, just misses the zone. 2-1 now the count.
And Tabor Fast transferred to Washington State this year. He was with Texas Tech for the last 2 years. And if you want to see his most recent stats, they're back in 2024 with Texas Tech.
Tabor Fast checks left again. And it's a foul, going foul. Clears the bullpen. That one reaches the parking lot. Might have hit a car, actually. 2-2 now goes the count.
And also, it's interesting that Tabor Fast was a two-way player coming into college. He actually had quite a few at-bats with Texas Tech. But then now that he's with the Cougs, he's transitioned to just a bullpen arm. He's only a pitcher with Wazoo.
Tabor Fast checks first. 2-2 delivery. Goes outside. Smaka now has a full count. 6 pitches already in this at-bat.
And it's a tough spot right here for Fast. He's a redshirt junior. He's got a runner on first, no outs. It's a 7-3 ball game. Washington State leading, but one swing from Smaka could change that.
Fast checks first base. Wind and delivery. Just misses the zone. It's a walk on a full count. Great at bat from Smaka, and now there's a runner on second and first with 0 outs. Damon Valdez gonna be the one to look to bring them in.
Yeah, Damon Valdez so far this year hasn't been too impressive from him. He's batting 167, and so far this game he struck out in the third, walked in the fifth, did come around to score. So he's one of the 3 runs that are on the board at the moment for Long Beach. It's 7-3, Washington State leading, and a leadoff walk to kick off Tabor Fast's outing. That's not the way he wanted to start.
Tabor Fast, left-hander, checks second. Delivery to Valdez, shows bunt, but has to pull it back as it's going to hit him in the hands. 1-0 goes the count. Damon Valdez reached earlier on a walk at the bottom of the 5th. Fast check second. Stretch in delivery. It's a bunt going to the third baseline, but Northrup lets it go foul. 1-1 now the count.
That's a smart play there by Northrup, the sophomore from Billings, Montana. He's at third base. He started third base every single game of this series. And right there, that bunt by Valdez right down third baseline. So, Northrup can see the spin, can see it kind of tailing away and lets it go into foul territory. And now you force Valdez to have to see another pitch and force him to get himself into an out.
Valdez in the right-hander's batter's box, working against the left-handed Tabor Fast. Tabor tries to do a pickoff attempt at second. It goes past. Trevor Smith has to pick it up. A steal attempt at second. He is able to get there. Great advance from Smaka, who almost went too far and so slid over the back, but he is able to maintain there. And Tabor Fast, with the throw into the outfield, advances the runners on his own. Both Evans and Smaka move up to third and second.
And that was a coordinated pickoff attempt with Roy and Fast. They were both timing it. As soon as Roy broke to go to second base, Fast spun to pick off. Of course, nothing went to plan there, and now everyone was up 90 feet.
0 outs in the inning as well. Tabor Fast. 1-1 delivery to Valdez, catches the zone. Now 1-2. A strikeout would be big for Fast. Tabor Fast takes a deep breath to calm himself down. Stretch, delivers, and it's hit right side foul by Valdez. Gonna redo the 1-2.
And that right there is what we call an emergency hack. Valdez saw the breaking ball out of the hands of Tabor Fast, realized it was gonna be over the plate, so he kind of weakly swung in it. Didn't get his lower half involved, just tried to just swat it away and foul it off.
Fast pitch goes up the middle. Valdez hits it. Smith collects it. Rounding third is Smaka. Smaka safe at home. 2-run single from Valdez. In comes Evans and Smaka, and it's now 7-5. Washington State still with the 2-run lead.
And that's where that emergency hack comes in handy. You foul off that pitch, you stay alive, get another good pitch to hit right over the plate, and he makes Tabor Fast pay. Valdez just does his job, smacks up the middle, brings home 2 runs, and now the lead for Washington State is only 2 runs. It's 7-5. You're in the bottom of the 6th, and now you have an opportunity for Camden Gasser to maybe just tie up this game.
And as you were mentioning, those 4-run leads really don't mean much in college baseball. 7-5, Long Beach staying in it. Camden Gasser, a great contact and getting on base type of bat. Tabor Fast checks first. Pitch goes inside, catches the zone. Gasser showed bunt, but pulled back. Still ended up being a strike. 0-1 count, 0 outs. 3 straight successful at-bats for Long Beach has led to 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Fast winds and delivers. Another bunt shown by Gasser just gets pulled back in time. 1-1 now the count.
And I mentioned it before that Camden Gasser started his career, he played at Purdue in 2024 and 2025, but he started his college career at Michigan in 2022.
A Big Ten prospect now here in Long Beach. Puts a bunt, but he puts it poorly. Tabor Fast catches it. It was popped in the air, and Gasser, frustrated with himself, slams the bat down.
Yeah, if I was Gasser, I'd be mad at myself as well. That's the number one thing you don't want to do when you're bunting is pop it up. Because it's almost every single time a guaranteed out, either popped to the catcher or popped up to the pitcher. And in this case, he popped it up to Tabor Fast. And now the graduate students, Camden Gasser, gets sat down on that pop out to Fast.
Well, now in comes Trevor Goldenetz. Runner still on first base, Damon Valdez. Fast checks first. Delivery to Goldenetz, catches the bottom of the zone. 0-1 now the count with 1 out. Bottom of the 6th inning, Long Beach trying to break their way back in the game. Goldenetz with one of those power swings could be the one to do it. Fast delivers. Goldenetz, a high fly ball to left field, being tracked down by Dustin Robinson. Makes a diving catch, but he drops it. Ends up being a fair ball, and Valdez has to just stay at second base with 1 out. It ends up being a drop diving play by Dustin Robinson, and the inning stays alive.
That's tough if you're Dustin Robinson. You're fighting the sun. The sun is kind of glaring into left field, and Dustin Robinson's in the left field spot. So that kind of flare of the hit into left field, Robinson has to come way in to try and make a play on it, drifting towards the foul line. And, he thinks it's underneath it. That sun is just blasting him in the eyes. Has to drop down to a knee, kicks off the tip of his glove, almost snow-coned it, but just can't squeeze it. And now you have runners on first and second, only 1 out. And now here comes Nathan Choate to possibly talk with Tabor Fast.
And Tabor Fast has struggled since he's come into the game. Now 4 men reach base off of him. It's definitely not what you want to see if you are Nathan Choate. Two-run lead for Washington State. A lot of it coming from a very successful 5th inning where the bats just connected with one another, hit after hit after hit. Tabor Fast will stick in this game, but now Long Beach themselves are getting hit after hit after hit. It is the cohesiveness of the offenses to put together strings of offense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we said that. That's what the Cougs were doing when they put up their 7 runs. It was back-to-back hits, back-to-back RBIs. And you're kind of seeing it here a little bit with Long Beach, but they got runners on first and second, only 1 out. I mean, a good ground ball up the middle could be turned into a double play. So that's all that Tabor Fast needs to do is just get something on the ground and let your infield go to work.
Not a lot of space up the middle between short and second. A lot of space, though, between the infield and the corners. It's a line drive to left field. Robinson able to cleanly make the catch on the run that time. 2 outs now as Reed Montgomery takes the first pitch, sends it to the outfield, but he is out.
Yeah, and then at second base was Valdez. He was kind of halfway between second and third. Has to see to make sure that ball is caught by Robinson. Robinson made the catch. Valdez runs back into second base, so he's held there. And here comes another mound visit, and it might be it for Tabor Fast.
At least he was able to get 1 more out to maybe boost a little bit of his ERA in case a run gets scored, but Choate grabs the ball from him on the mound, and that will do it for his time on the day. Washington State still in the trying to survive the bottom of the 6th. Long Beach trying to score some more runs. It's 2 outs, 2-run ball game. We'll be right back here on KUGR Sports.
Athletes for Washington State is called the Open, brought to you by Long Beach. Trevor Stowe.
Back here, still in the bottom of the sixth, another pitching change being made. Washington State now bringing in number 42, Trevor Stowe, in for fast, and now the right-handed reliever ready to go against Trotter Enright. Trotter Enright takes a low ball in the first pitch. 1-0 now the count, 2 outs in the inning. Runners on second and first. 2-run ball game, 2 runs scored from Long Beach in this inning from a single from Damon Valdez, who's now on second base. Stowe checks second, sets in. It's hit deep into, or kind of blooping, and it gets down. Valdez rounds third. He's going to slide in safely, and stopping at third is Golden Nets. Another run comes in for Long Beach State. It just kind of blooped, got over the second baseman to Chavez, and Trevor Smith couldn't get there as well. It's another RBI base hit for Long Beach Dirtbacks.
Just a parachute of a hit into no man's land. Chavez tried to track it down. It drops in front of him. He barehand snatches it, but not before Valdez could score. And then now you got Golden Nets on third, and now you got Lena up to bat. This is a dangerous situation. Your lead has been cut to only 1. It's 7-6 Wazoo, but Trevor Stowe might let this get away from them.
Trevor Stowe wasn't the worst pitch either, just a bloop hit into no man's land. 1-run ball game now. Stowe's pitch delivered, caught by Thornton on the low end. Almost got past him. 1-0 count, 2 outs. Runners on the corners. Trotter Enright does have some speed. 1 stolen base on the season. Stowe delivers a great curveball, swing and a miss, 1-1 count, 2 outs. 3 runs scored for the Dirtbags in this inning. They're down 1.
Yeah, Lena just got completely fooled by that curveball away. Just starts middle, looks really juicy, looks like he can get a barrel to it, and then just completely fell off the table.
Stowe sets, delivers. Thine gets past him, and it ends up letting a runner advance. Enright advances off of it. Thine could not find the ball. It bounced off of the plate, jumped over him. Runner at third stays there. No play made there, but now a runner on second and third.
And that's why you tell catchers to block it up and get your body in front of it. Thine didn't really do that. He tried to pick it, tried to stab his glove at it, and that's why it popped up like that. If he just dropped down to his knees, got his chest plate to it, he could have blocked it up and maybe could have prevented the runner from moving into second.
Stowe settles in, delivers, and Lena pops it very high into the air, gets to the outfield, and Hartman makes the catch and ends a great inning for Long Beach. They are still down 1, though, heading to the top of the 7th. It is 7-6. Washington State leads.
Washington State 7, Long Beach State 6. Fans entering monitor kids 1200 and races following today's game. Parents, please make sure you have your child's order filled out before the end of this inning, the 7th inning. Registration will close at that time. The waiter can be free at the marketing QR in the right-hand side. By scanning the QR code now, on your board to fill out in advance. Attention your fans, if you want to make a direct impact on your favorite LBJ baseball players, come to the Impact Collective, the official NIL Collective, supporting our student athletes. Be a part of the legacy. Visit dirtbagcollective.com or follow on social media at Dirtbag Collective.
We're now in the top of the 7th. Long Beach, a great bottom of the 6th. They brought the score within 1, and leading off the top of the 7th is Dane Chavez with Smith Slye on the call.
Thank you, Nathan. Like you mentioned, the freshman Dane Chavez is going to dig himself into that lefty's batter's box, and still on the mound for Long Beach, it's Tyler Gebb.
Felt like a century ago, but Chavez was still in the middle of his at-bat, but got interrupted by a steal attempt from Perello.
He's got a blank slate now facing Gebb. Here's the first pitch. Outside corner for strike 1. So Chavez falls behind early. 0-1 against Tyler Gebb. And the Cougs last inning, they blinked, and their 7-2 lead is cut down to just 7-6. As Gebb lifts and fires. High and outside, ball 1, evens it up. 1 ball and 1 strike, no outs. And just a 1-run lead for Washington State. There's a flurry of hits for Long Beach, 4 hits, driving in 3 runs. As Gebb comes set, he's from the stretch with nobody on. That breaking ball just gets the inside corner for strike 2, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes for Dane Chavez. And Chavez reached on an error back in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, singled in the 5th, so he's 2 for 3. And here's the 1-2. Swung on and drilled right back into the glove of Gebb. He shortens up, flips to first to get the out. Dane Chavez, unlucky as he just smacked that one right back to Gebb.
And that was great awareness by Gebb to put it straight into his mitt. But I do think that the defensive positioning for the Dirtbags was prepared for that as well. It looked like Enright was playing the middle of the infield, so it would have been a tougher play, but great job by Gebb to just snatch it.
They'll bring up Noah Thine batting in the 8-hole. He's got a pair of bunt sacrifices. And his first pitch to him is just outside for ball 1. Bunted down the third base line in the 2nd, was thrown out. Then bunted back to the pitcher in the 4th. And then was also hit by a pitch in the top of the 5th inning. He's got a 1-0 count with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Right on the outside corner, strike 1.
That was a great pitch. And right now, Gebb is kind of dealing. Tyler Gebb putting it where he needs to be putting it, and the hitters for Washington State are not getting the fastballs that they like to see.
1-1 count for Thine. Here's the pitch from Gebb. Breaking ball right down the middle. Strike 2 to the senior Noah Thine.
Washington State doesn't necessarily have the best hitting against breaking balls, especially when they catch the zone. So they're going to have to be very careful for the rest of this game.
And Noah Thine, he's a bit of a small dude. He's only 5'9". He's the senior from DeWitt, Iowa. He's got a 1-2 count. Needs to battle here. Needs to shorten up. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball fooled him. He swings at it, and he gets none of it.
And that was a perfect pitch. And I will say 5'9" is not the shortest. As a 5'9" man myself, Noah Thine, you are an athlete, and you know that. It was a tough strikeout right there, but Washington State's got to stay in there. Gebb is dealing right now, getting anything he wants. They just have to be careful of where they swing it.
And now it's Gavin Roy batting in the 9-hole, the second leadoff spot. He's 1 for 3 so far today. Drove in 2 runs in the top of the 5th with an RBI single. And now he's got 2 outs and nobody on. First offering to him is high upstairs for ball 1. Gavin Roy is the senior from Sudbury, Ontario. We said it a couple times. Transferred in from Cloud County last year and played every single game for the Cougs at shortstop. The 1-0 pitch to him. Right down the middle, strike one.
A great pitch. And Tyler Gebb seems like he has full confidence right now. Washington State seems a little shell-shocked after that bottom of the 6th inning.
1-1 count for Gavin Roy. 2 outs and nobody on. A blank canvas. He squares the bunt, goes right back to Gebb. He picks it up with the bare hand, fires the first. Lena collides with Gavin Roy, but kept his foot on the bag to get the out and retire the side. The Cougs go down in order. Chavez grounded out, Thine struck out, and Gavin Roy grounds out to end the inning. And we stay at 7-6. Washington State leading, moving into the bottom of the 7th. This is Cougar Baseball on KUGR, Cougar College Radio. We'll be back in just a little bit. So the Washington State Cougars went down in order in the top of the 7th, capped off with Gavin Roy, the 5'9" shortstop, just absolutely lowering the shoulder on Dylan Lena, the 6-foot-tall DH. But of course, Lena got the better of him and was able to keep his foot on first base to get the outs. And now we're in the bottom of the 7th. It's a 7-6 ball game. Washington State leading by a thin margin, and Matt Toomey up to bat. Trevor Stowe takes a breath, and from the stretch, he delivers. It's lone inside for ball 1. 1-0 count to Matt Toomey. He's a sophomore. Last year with the Dirtbags, played in 45 games, batted .278. He's the 1-0 operator. Center cut for strike 1. Now Matt Toomey flew out in the 5th, flew out in the 4th, and reached base back in the 2nd on a fielder's choice. So he's yet to get a hit, one might say. Even count 1-1. That pitch is drilled into center field. Backing up, Trevor Smith shows his numbers, but plants the back foot, makes the catch, and gets the out.
And Matt Toomey, he's just flying out everywhere today. It's had a F9 in the 4th, an F7 in the 5th, and now an F8 this inning. He's gone everywhere around the outfield.
It'll bring up Jake Evans, who's getting the start at third base today for the Dirtbags. Righty batter facing the righty pitcher, Trevor Stowe. And Stowe's out of Buffalo, Wyoming, so he's a long way from home. And definitely a very different climate than Wyoming. As Stowe lifts and he fires. Swung on, shot, foul to the first base side. Shawnsby thought about offering at it, but ends up just putting on the brakes and will drift back to his spot at first base.
I mean, it was a good effort by Shawnsby, but Jake Evans, a lot of confidence is just kind of propelling from the Dirtbags. Even when they're getting out, they're great contact outs to the outfield or hard hit balls. Right now, the Dirtbags seem to have all of the momentum in the game.
0-1 count for Jake Evans. 1 out and nobody on. Here's the pitch from Stowe. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball away and in the dirt. He gets him swinging for strike 2.
Those types of swing and misses is what can build confidence and pitchers. And Stowe, with that type of pitch right there, that's what he needs to do a little bit more to build the confidence for not only the pitching staff, but the hitting as well.
0-2 count to Evans. Stowe lifts and fires. Low and in the dirt, but it's taken this time by Jake Evans. It evens it up at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Now that ball didn't have much of a competitive chance, but Thime pointing at him, telling him to keep it in there, keep sticking it in and putting it in the zone. 1-2 count, 1 out.
Cougars trying to hold on to their 7-6 lead here in the bottom of the 7th. 1-2 pitch. Here it is. Just outside, another breaking ball, and Jake Evans not fooled by that one. Evens it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Blank canvas for Evans. He's the sophomore from Long Beach. He's in his hometown. Hometown kid. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stowe takes a breath, and here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled, almost jammed him on the hands. Hits back into the netting, and the count will remain at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Stowe's doing a good job mixing his pitches right there. Evans was just late on it. He's going to have to be careful with what type of pitch he gives him now. With him not being able to catch it with the fastball, he might be looking to swing early on something.
How will Trevor Stowe respond? A 2-2 count with 1 out. Takes a breath. Here it is. Low and outside, and again, Jake Evans takes it to make it a 3 ball and 2 strike count. We're filled up here in the bottom of the 7th, 7-6, Washington State leading. Little Led Zeppelin being played here by the organist in-house for Long Beach. As the payoff pitch misses on the outside corner, Jake Evans turns to the dugout, talks to him a little bit. He's up 90 feet with a walk.
Great at-bat from Evans, able to foul a couple pitches off. And taking those last 2 pitches, it was a slider to the outside, and that one was one that I thought he might have wanted to swing at, but that last pitch, fastball on the outside, read it the whole way, and now he is on base. They're down 1, so he could be the tying run this inning.
And now it's Caden Smacka, the redshirt junior from Las Vegas, the lefty batter going against the righty Trevor Stowe. He's got a runner on first base. 1 out. 7-6, Washington State leading. First pitch to Smacka. Misses just outside for ball 1.
Stowe does have some good stuff, and he's only providing about half the time. He just needs to be consistent with where his pitches are.
1-0 count to Smacka. Checks to first, and here's the pitch. Just a bit too low and just a bit too inside. Makes it a 2 ball, no strike count to Smacka. Runner on first base with 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Smacka joins the Dirtbags this year, transfers in from the College of Southern Nevada. This is his first year with Long Beach. And here's the 2-0. Misses low again, and it's 3-0. Tough spots for Trevor Stowe. Fell behind against Smacka. 3-0 counts. Cougs trying to hold on to that 7-6 lead. Quick check over to the runner on first. Pickoff attempt over. Not in time. He's back in safely. Evans goes head first back into first base.
And Long Beach trying to stay smart with where they can go on the base paths. A 3-0 lead. And right now, it seems like all the confidence might have shifted out of Stowe. Umpires looking towards the bullpen once again. Choate trying to talk with Trevor Stowe. It'll be interesting to see what the Cougars decide to do. There's been a lot of pitching changes, and you mentioned a little bit before off air, it's a pitching by committee type of situation for Washington State, and the committee is going to come out once again, a new pitcher coming from the pen.
But yeah, you can close the book on Trevor Stowe. The 5th pitcher of the day for Washington State will come into this game here in the bottom of the 7th. There's 1 out and 1 runner on, and the Cougs just barely cling to that 7-6 lead, which in college baseball is not a lot. But we're going to step aside as we figure out who this new pitcher is for the Washington State Cougars. You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR Cougar College Radio, coming to you live from Long Beach, California, Blair Field. We'll be back in just a little bit.
attention please for Washington State. This call to both men is brought to you by the Port Long Beach. Now pitching for the Washington State Cougars, number 54, Ryan Hyder.
Fresh out of pen for Washington State, it is Rylan Hyder, the redshirt junior from Olympia, Washington, coming in to relieve Trevor Stowe, and he'll be facing off against Caden Smaka to start out his day with a 3-0 count that he inherited from Stowe.
And Smaka is one of those guys who can get on base at a high margin. He has 6 walks, 3 hits on 10 at-bats. It's very efficient, and right now he's at 3 balls.
First pitch to Smaka. Right on the lower inside corner for strike one. Rylan Hyder gets after him right away.
Kind of needs to with the 3-0 count being inherited. Any pitch from now on needs to be a strike.
Quick pickoff attempt over to check in on Evans. He's back in safely. Like I mentioned, a 3-1 count now to Smaka.
I like that decision, though, from Hyder. Make sure that Evans understands that Hyder understands he's there. He's not afraid to try to pick him off, or he understands that he cannot steal.
Hyder takes a breath, and here's the 3-1 pitch. Right down the middle for strike 2. He fills it up. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Smaka with 1 out and 1 runner on.
Some great placed pitches right there. Inside fastballs. That's what the Dirtbacks are struggling with to begin the game. Washington State kind of went away from it.
They'll throw over to first base to try and catch Evans, but he's back in safely again. That was a bit more of a bang-bang play, but a good call from the first base umpire to see that he got his hand in there. Hyder's back up on the mound. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Smaka. Redshirt junior from Las Vegas. Here's the payoff pitch. Runner takes off, grounded right up the middle. Gavin Roy will cut it off. He'll throw to first. Picked by Shansley. No! It rattles out of his glove. Everybody's safe, and everybody is up 90 feet.
And it was a tough running play with a couple of guys in the way of Roy, at least his line of sight, but that should have been a pretty easy bang-bang play in the infield for the shortstop to first baseman. But now 1 out, 2 runners on base. More and more pressure is being applied to this 1-run lead for the Cougars.
They'll bring up Damon Valdez, who's catching today for Long Beach. He struck out in the 3rd, had a walk in the 5th that he came around to score on, and then also had an RBI single in the 6th. And then that same inning, he came around to score. So he's accounted for 2 of the 6 Long Beach runs thus far this year. And head coach TJ Bruce is going to talk with Valdez for a second here before he goes and takes his at-bats.
With 1 out in the inning, there is technically the opportunity to advance the runners with a sacrifice bunt, but he already has a 2 RBI single in this game, so he's shown that he can put the power to the ball.
Still 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. It's a 7-6 ball game. Washington State leading by a thin margin. The right-hander Rylan Hyder on the mound, facing the right-handed batter Damon Valdez. Hyder checks to second. Long stare, and now he'll pitch. Swung on angle, driven right to Kyler North of Heathfields. Throws a second, throw to first. In time? No, he was off the base. Ryan Shawnsby had to reach out to try and keep that in front of him. He was off the base. The runner at first is safe, but they cut down the runner at second.
And that was a great job by Northrup. A perfect delivery to second base to get the first out, but Chavez just unable to deliver an on-target throw to Shawnsby, and he couldn't stay on the bag to make a double play. That would have been massive and honestly just so easy for Hyder if he could just get out of the inning with a double play. But now he's got to face one of the more tougher batters to go against who can work some pretty high counts.
Tying run is on 3rd. The go-ahead is on 1st. It's Camden Gasser at the plate. Here's the first pitch to him. Low and outside, ball 1. We mentioned before that Camden Gasser, he's a graduate student, started his college career in Michigan back in 2022, which feels like ages ago. And the 1-0 pitch to him. Right down the middle, taken for strike 1.
Yeah, Smith, what were you doing in 2022?
This is a really, really good question. I believe that would have been my sophomore year of high school, so I was playing high school baseball. So 1-1 count for Gasser. Hyder with runners on the corners. Here's the pitch. Low in the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th. It's 7-6. Washington State leading, but Long Beach has got 2 runners on with an opportunity to take the lead. Hyder comes sets. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Just a bit too far outside for ball 3. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. A hitter's count for Camden Gasser. And Camden Gasser, a multi-sport athlete, was a 2-way player back in high school for football. He was a wide receiver and a DB. As here's the 3-1 pitch. Outside, that's ball 4, and it's loaded up here in the bottom of the 7th. The Dirtbags have an opportunity to bring home a pair of runs.
Now, I know at the moment that seems bad, but now there's a force out at every single base, no matter where this ball goes. It is not the best hitter you want in this scenario. Golden Nets, one of the most clutch bats for the Dirtbags, just one of their better hitters. But now with a force out at every single base, there's nowhere left to put a runner, and there's nowhere left for the runners to go.
And it's a righty pitcher with Hyder, lefty batter with Golden Nets. This is what you dream of if you're Golden Nets. Bases loaded, 2 outs. That pitch gets away from Noah Thine. It was low in the dirt, and it kicks to the backstop. Coming home to score, it's Evans, and this game is tied.
That one just got away. That's just the worst mistake you could possibly have in that moment. Really unfortunate circumstances, and now it's a tie ball game. Runners on 2nd and 3rd.
Camden Gasser has got, Troy from Golden Nets has got a 1-0 count. Runners on 2nd and 3rd, both in scoring position. Here's the pitch to him. Clips the outside corner. That's strike 1, and it evens it up. That 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Tie ball game, 7-7 in the bottom of the 7th. Hyder comes set from the stretch. Takes a breath. Here's the pitch. High and tight, but it clips the zone for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Trevor Golden Nets. And Golden Nets has been very impressive so far this year as a freshman. Started every single game. He's out of Huntington Beach, California. Here's the 1-2 to him. Just misses outside. That's ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. We're tied up 7-7. Washington State versus Long Beach. Hyder's going to come set. The 2-2 pitch. He lifts. He fires. Swung on and grounded right to Dane Chavez. Chops right to his glove. He'll fire to first. Plenty of time to get the out and retire the side, but not before the Long Beach Dirtbags tally 1 run to tie up this ball game as we move into the top of the 8th. You're listening to Cougar Baseball live on KUGR from beautiful Long Beach, California. We'll be back in just a little bit.
Registration is now closed for kids that have on bases. Parents will need to show confirmation and fill out that waiver to our marketing representatives. They will be under the next 30 days dugout. That's where kids will gather. And kids will receive their wristbands to get them on the field. The under the next 30 days dugout. One of our marketing agents to receive signed waiver. Thank you. Your attention please for Long Beach State. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by the Port of Long Beach. Now pushing through the Dirtbags, 35. Caleb Anderson.
We are deadlocked 7-7 as we move into the 8th inning. Trevor Smith will lead it off for the Cougs, and a new face on the mound for the Long Beach Dirtbags. It's number 35, Caleb Anderson, the righty, coming in relief late in this ball game.
And Caleb Anderson, not necessarily the most consistent. 6 innings pitched, 6 runs allowed, but he does have 9 strikeouts to go along with it.
His first offering to Trevor Smith misses outside. Ball 1. Trevor Smith gets ahead early in the top of the 8th. 1-0 count to him, the freshman. Anderson will lift. He'll fire. Swing on and shot to the second baseman. Gasser. He makes a play on the run, throws to first base. Plenty of time to get the out. A 4-3 put out to sit down Trevor Smith early on in this inning.
And for Washington State, Trevor Smith's one of your better bats as of recently. So watching him go down early like that in the clutch situation late in this game, it's not where you want to be if you're a Wazoo fan.
Now it's Kyler Northrup up to bat. Righty on righty. Anderson takes a breath from the modified windup, more like the stretch. He'll step back, lift, and fire. Breaking ball just missed outside for ball 1 to Kyler Northrup. And Kyler Northrup, a sophomore this year from Billings, Montana. He's a comms major, studying broadcast news, which also happens to be my major as well. The 1-0 breaking ball just gets the outside corner for strike 1. It evens it up at 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out.
Personal biases to the Murrow College.
Just a little bit.
We love
Just a little
Murrow.
bit.
We love Murrow.
1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the offering from Anderson. Miss is outside. It's ball 2.
Northrup might need to get his season awakened by some clutch hitting, and right now, this game could be the game where he ends up doing that.
Anderson winds. Here's the 2-1 offering. Swung on and fouled through his legs and back to the backstop. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes for Kyler Northrup.
That seemed to be a really good changeup from Caleb Anderson, just switching the speed on Northrup. Was still able to make contact on it, but now 2-2 count set up perfectly for Caleb Anderson.
Anderson trying to put Northrup in his back pocket. Here's the pitch. Swung on and grounded to the shortstop end right. He'll field it, throw across the first, but it's wide, and the foot of Lena is off the bag. Kyler Northrup is safe at first base.
And that was just great hustle. Northrup knows that his team needs that hit. He had a full sprint. The hustle was there. He didn't give up on the play. It may have been a weak grounder, but it still ended up being an infield single.
And Washington State is not out of this game. 1 out and 1 runner on. We're tied up 7-7. Top of the 8th. It's Max Hartman, the senior from Canada, up to bat. Lefty batter, righty pitcher. Anderson checks to first, and here's the pitch. Scoring to bunt. Max Hartman can't get it down. He did go. It's strike 1.
And I know that there's 1 out in the inning and you want to advance your runner into scoring position, but Max Hartman's such a valuable bat that I would not want to square down a bunt with him.
Max Hartman's been phenomenal in his career with the Cougs. He was the #1 outfield prospect coming out of Canada. And here's the first pitch to him. Swing and a miss, a breaking ball on his back foot. He goes chasing after it, and it's strike 2.
And now he's down 0-2. That was the danger of squaring the bunt down on the first pitch. It was called, or it ended up being a strike because he went, and now he's down to one of the better strikeout pitchers on the Dirtbags.
Anderson comes set, picks off, attempts to first base, almost wide, but Lena gloves it, and will just fire it right back to Anderson. I mentioned before, Caleb Anderson's got a 9 ERA so far this year, 6 appearances, none of which have been starts. Max Hartman awaits his 0-2 pitch. Anderson lifts, he fires. Swung on and fouled through his legs and to the backstop. Max Hartman just barely gets a piece of that breaking ball to stay alive.
It's another great pitch. Caleb Anderson has a lot to work with from the looks of it. Some good breaking balls, and right now, with everything being a breaking ball, he might want to send Hartman some fastball.
The 0-2 pitch yet again. Anderson, long hold. Here's the pitch. Misses low and outside, spits out of the glove of Valdez, but he tracks it down quickly and will keep Kyler Northrup at first base.
And earlier in the game, Chavez did have a drop ball, but was able to throw a runner out after he tried to steal it. And right there, unlike Pirello, Northrup understood that he doesn't want to test the arm of Chavez. Stayed quick, safe at first.
1-2 count for Max Hartman, the senior from Alberta. He's got Kyler Northrup at first base. Here's the pitch. Swung on and grounded. Past Rena at first base. He can't come up with it. Northrup around second. He's in the third. They'll cut off the throw. And now the Cougs have him parked on first and third with one out. And Dustin Robinson coming to the plate.
And one of the guys who can deliver in these clutch situations, Dustin Robinson, has not played all the games so far this season, but when he has, he's been one of the more efficient batters with some pop in his bat, and he showed it earlier today, and with one out, he can deliver once again.
The Dirtbags infield along with Valdez behind the plate. They meet at the mound, and we'll talk things over with Caleb Anderson, but they break, go back to their positions. And now Dustin Robinson has an opportunity to get the go-ahead run. We're tied up 7-7 here in the top of the eighth. Washington State, the away team, so they're batting in the top of the eighth. And they have an opportunity right here to get a clutch RBI. Dustin Robinson had the triple back in the third to drive in a run. And the first pitch from Anderson, here it is. Breaking ball that gets right over the heart of the plate for strike one. Robinson watched it all the way.
Washington State being a fastball hitting team, these breaking balls of Anderson have not led to hard contact. It's resulted in base hits so far this inning, but it's going to be tough to actually send one deep.
The pitch to Robinson. Hits him on the leg. Dustin Robinson, a statue in the box, lets it hit him, stands his ground, and now it is loaded up.
Mason Pirello, another guy who's had multiple RBI hits today. He's ready to do it again, come up clutch. This is one of those scenarios you dream about when you're a kid. How many times have there been bases loaded scenarios for batters today? I believe this is the third one, and Pirello gets a shot to do it for the Cougars.
Yeah, Pirello had an RBI single in the third, doubled in the fifth, and had another RBI single in the sixth. He's got an opportunity to do it again right here. Anderson's pitch. Swung on, foul, right field side, and well out of play into the parking lot. Pirello falls behind early. It's 0-1. One out. Bases loaded. We're in the top of the eighth. It's a tie ball game. 7-7. Pirello trying to change that. Caleb Anderson on the mound. He's set. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball inside. Almost clipped him on the chin, but it just misses. It's ball one.
If you're Caleb Anderson, you need to set yourself back in. You're understanding they're getting weak contact hits. You just need to get the ball back in the zone. Washington State has not been catching up to it. Pirello might be one of the guys who can, though.
1-1 count to Pirello. Here it is. Swing and a miss. A fastball high and outside. Pirello chases after it, and it makes it a 1-ball, 2-strike count with one out and the bases loaded.
And now that he's working against another right-handed batter, the right-handed pitcher with an amazing job working against him, trying to get him to chase outside.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Anderson trying to put Pirello in his back pocket. That pitch swung on and missed. A curveball away. Pirello chased it, and now there are 2 outs with the bases loaded.
First baseman for 19, Ryan Shansby.
And while there may be bases loaded and 2 outs, Ryan Shansby, the Long Beach native, coming back in the final Long Beach game. Nathan Choate looks like he's walking out of the dugout to talk to him. This could be the most clutch situation in this early season for Washington State.
Yeah, Nathan Choate comes out of the dugout. He calls time, and he'll bring in Ryan Shansby along with Dane Chavez, who's on deck to talk things through. They're trying to get their game plan together. 2 outs, top of the 8th. Tie ball game, 7-7, bases loaded. On first base, you got Robinson. Second base is Hartman. Third base is Kyler Northrup. As Choate will finish his conversation with Shansby, he'll walk back slowly to the dugout, and Shansby gets ready for his at-bats.
left-handed batter. He's batting .200 this year, has 7 RBIs on 7 hits, 1 home run. That would be an electric grand slam right now.
0-0 pitch to Shawnsby. Anderson, here it is. Low in the dirt. It's ball 1. Now, you said he has 1 of the 2 home runs for Washington State. That came back in the Alabama series to open up the year. I want to say it was a 2-run shot. And he could have a 4-run shot right here. 1-0. Anderson from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, low and in the dirt. It's ball 2. Ryan Shawnsby ahead, 2-0 early on in the count.
If I'm remembering correctly, if he were to do it again, he'd be hitting himself basically in the teeth on the Jumbotron in right field.
The Jumbotron here at Blair Field in right center field, right where Shawnsby wants to hit it. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swung on intro, up the middle, that'll get it done. Coming in to score, it's Northrop. They'll wave Hartman home. A 2-run RBI single. Kyler Northrop, along with Max Hartman, scores. Ryan Shawnsby get it done in the 8th.
Clutch players who clutch things, and right there, Shawnsby, the hometown kid, making everyone here get excited and loud. To the right of us, a man took his shirt off. I'm now seeing that. 9-7 lead. The Cougars with an amazing top of the 8th.
It's it's Dane Chavez up to bat now, the freshman from Kennewick. He's got a pair of singles so far in this game. He came around to score in the 5th. It's a 9-7 Cougar lead. The Washington State fans here at Blair Field getting loud. Like you said, a member of the Cougar Nation took off his shirt. You saw that at the Toledo football game for Washington State earlier this year. Looks like he's trying to do the same thing in Long Beach. First pitch to Chavez. A bender right over the plate for strike 1.
And that's passion from the fans, if you want to call it that. And it's exciting to see how many of them travel here to Long Beach. It's just a special fan base.
0-1 count for Chavez, the freshman. 2 runners on. Here's the pitch. Swung on and grounded right up the middle, right to end right. He fields, steps on second to end the inning. But the Cougs do damage. Ryan Shawnsby gets a 2-run RBI single with the bases loaded, and it is now 9-7 in the 8th inning. We move into the bottom of the 8th, and let's see if the Dirtbags can't respond, or will the bats go to sleep for the Dirtbags.
For Washington State, the leading the game, 8 in Longfield, is number 7, Cole Watterson. And this on the line for Cougars, brings it to number 11, Thomas Uchi.
For the bottom of the 8th, Washington State calls to the pen, and they'll bring in August Ritchie, the junior from Tucson, Arizona, And if that name sounds familiar to you, it's because August Ritchie was the man who gave up a 3-run tank to Cooper Jones of BYU in the very first game of this series and allowed BYU to take that 6-4 win. But he gets the job here in the bottom of the 8th with Reed Montgomery coming to the plate for the Long Beach Dirtbags. They're down 9-7 after Ryan Shosby drove in a pair of runs in the top of the 8th. So a 9-7 lead for Washington State late in this ballgame, the last day of this 4-game series. As August Ritchie winds and fires, swung on and chopped immediately to Shonsby. He gloves it at his eyes, flips to Ritchie, steps on the bag, and it's 1 pitch and 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th.
And that's just the perfect start. And as you mentioned, Ritchie was known as the guy who blew the game. But the thing is the only way you can stay getting better is you keep trying. You can't let those types of losses get you down. You have to stay locked in and focused. And right there is a good pitch, caused a weak contact ground ball, and easy quick out in the first pitch of the inning.
With 1 out, it's Trotter Enright up to the plate, and he takes strike 1 on the outside corner. So it's a 0-1 count for him. Enright is 1 for 4 so far today. Had an RBI single in the 6th. Swings at that pitch, fouls it off his foot, and it makes it an 0-2 count. And that's what we were talking about earlier, where you'll foul it off your leg, off your foot, and that's why having the Eagle Shield on, which he does have on his right foot, which is his lead foot, that kind of helps to absorb some of the shock. Long Beach wearing their black jerseys with white pants. Washington State wearing the all-gray jerseys. Here's the 0-2, low and inside. It's ball 1. Cougars leading 9-7 here in beautiful Long Beach, California. It's 77 degrees, slight breeze. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and drilled into right center field. Smith's going to come in a few steps into the gap, reaches up and makes the grab. It's an F8 to get Enright. And now it's Dylan Lena coming up with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th.
And right now it seems like Ritchie's doing the contact pitcher type of approach. Give them swings on the ball, but don't let him be good swings. And right there, it was a fly ball that couldn't be driven deep because it didn't have much velocity on it. It had the right angle just off of the end of the bat. So great job by Ritchie. He's dealing right now.
Ritchie transferred in from Virginia last year. This first pitch to Lena is smacked into right field. Hartman's going to drift over, but this ball is going to tail onto the roof of the Long Beach batting barn, out of play. And it's 0-1 count for Dylan Lena. And August Ritchie, as I mentioned, transferred in from Virginia. Did not play with Virginia. And actually have to go back to Pima Community College to see his most recent stats. His freshman year had a 3.67 ERA. 0-1 count to Lena. Here's the pitch. Right on the outside corner. Tickles it. It's strike 2.
Long Beach fans very unhappy with the call. It was a low and away strike. Just clipped the corner. But the fans for the Dirtbags not happy with it.
Ritchie trying to put Lena in his back pocket. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. A curveball on the outside corner. Lena couldn't get it. And that does it for the 8th inning. The Cougs hold on to their 9-7 lead. And we're into the 9th inning. Let's see how this nail biter of a matchup turns out here on KUGR Cougar College Radio.
Now pitching for your Dirtbags, number 26, Katie Kalakai.
So Noah Thine will lead things off here in the top of the ninth. A 9-7 ball game, Washington State leading. And on play-by-play, it is Nathan Eshelman.
Thank you, Smith. 9-7 lead. Washington State looking to add some insurance. Incoming from the pen for the Dirtbags is Kaimi Kalakai. Kalakai's first delivery to Noah Thine catches the zone. 0-1 the count to the catcher from DeWitt, Iowa. Thine, the left-handed batter, working against the right-handed Malachi. And Kalakai sends in a ball, just misses the zone on the outside. 1-1 now the count.
And Kalakai is out of Kalulu, Hawaii, and actually went to Kamehameha Schools, Maui.
Kalakai, long windup, delivers in, just high, misses. 2-1 now the count.
And there's a member of the BYU team, Keone Painter, who is also from Kamehameha Schools, and we were joking that Kamehameha is a thing from Dragon Ball. So it's just weird to hear that as just the name of a school in Hawaii.
And Kalakai does a long wind step back, sends in a strike, catches the zone. 2-2, 0 outs. And it is interesting to think about. Kamehameha, I just know about that from a kid. Goku sending it forward. And Kalakai, long windup, sends in a high fastball, just misses the zone. Full count now to Noah Thine.
And those schools, those Kamehameha schools, they're like a chain of private schools on the islands of Hawaii. So there's a number of them all over the islands.
Kalakai, long windup, sends it. Noah Thine sends it back over us and out of the ballpark, fouled off. Full count once more. And Thine's been one of the more underrated players this season, just kind of getting a little bit more of his own. 8 at-bats, 2 hits. Kalakai sends it back. Thine fouls it back towards the left sides over the stadium once again. Another full count pitch.
And after that foul off, he turned to the Cougar dugout and was pounding his chest. We say it a lot. Noah Thine is definitely a spark plug, definitely a glue guy, and he's doing that again in this at-bat.
Kalakai, long windup, delivers a right-handed pitch. In off the hands, popped into the infield. Gasser gets under it, got him out. 1 out in the top of the ninth. Washington State still holds the 9-7 lead over the Long Beach Dirtbags.
I've said it a couple times. I said it when the Cougs had a 4-run lead, but now they have a 2-run lead, and that is just next to nothing in college baseball. The Dirtbags, if they get up in the bottom of the ninth, they can definitely just take that away from you, get a couple of clutch base hits, a couple of clutch RBIs, and they could run away with this game in the bottom of the ninth. So you need some insurance right now, and you need Gavin Roy to maybe get things going for you.
Righty on righty action. Kalakai, long windup, delivers. Inside, barely misses with the heat. 1-0 count to Gavin Roy.
And that ball one was much to the chagrin of Dirtbags fans. You can kind of hear them moaning and groaning a little bit. They thought that could have caught the corner, but definitely a close pitch.
It was a close pitch. Matt McMahon decided it was a ball. Head umpire behind the plate. Kalakai sends the next one. That one catches the zone. 1-1 count now to Gavin Roy. A shortstop for Washington State has had some struggles in the infield on defense, but on offense, he's been having a great season so far. 282 batting average. Kalakai's third pitch just misses. 2-1 count once again, and the chagrin, as you said, it's arriving once again.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned the success that Gavin Roy's having at the plate this year. He's had some today. He had an RBI single back in the 5th inning, drove in 2 runs. So he's 1 for 4 so far today.
Kalakai's next pitch high and inside, misses. 3-1 advantage to Gavin Roy.
I should mention that Kalakai, he's definitely a top talent. He was number 3 right-handed pitcher out of Hawaii in his after coming into his freshman year, and he was the number 67 right-handed pitcher nationally.
Kalakai steps back with his left foot, steps forward, delivers a pitch, just catches the zone. Roy thought he had the walk, but now it's a full count. Roy has to step back in, ready to swing.
Yeah, he should get an Oscar for that. Jackknifed away, tried to really sell it, but he has to stay in the batter's box for the 3-2 count now.
Kalakai gets set. The full count delivery. In the dirt. That one is nothing but dirt. Hits before the plate, and Gavin Roy says ball does not lie as he moves 90 feet to first base.
Yeah, that's just the opposite of a competitive pitch there from Kalakai. I mean, you got a 3-2 count. You need to do something to get it close to the zone to force Roy to swing, but you end up just spiking it about 5 feet in front of home plate. So that's just, again, the opposite of what we call competitive at bat.
1 out in the top of the ninth, 9-7 ball game. Washington State leading. Looking to add some insurance runs. Kalakai goes back to first, trying to pick off Gavin Roy, but he gets back safely. Trevor Smith still waiting for the first delivery.
And Trevor Smith having a bit of an off day. He almost hit for the cycle yesterday. He drew a leadoff walk in the first and then flew out, grounded out, lined out, and grounded out again for his next 4 at-bats.
Smith looking to make up for it. The switch hitter in the left-handed batter's box, working against the right-hand Kalakai. Takes a pitch on the outside. 1-0 now the count, 1 out. Gavin Roy not making too much movement on first base. Doesn't want to risk any opportunities to add runs. Kalakai delivers, catches the inside of the zone. 1-1 now the count on Smith. And the freshman has been a little hot and cold depending on the day. And today he had some hard hit balls that ended up being lined out, but still looking for his first base knock. Kalakai looks towards his dugout. Agrees to a pitch. Sends it. Trevor Smith fouls it towards the left side, and it is going to go out of play. 1-2 now the count. Center.
And we mentioned how Trevor Smith's maybe struggling a little bit today. We often will say, hey, he's hit balls hard to people. We usually like to say that, he can't buy a hit right now, basically. He used up all of his luck yesterday. Maybe today he's struggling a little bit, but eventually the levee's going to break, and he's going to get something to hit the outfield grass.
Kalakai does not want it to be off of him. He has not given up a run so far this season. 1-2 delivery, foul back. 1-2 count still to go. 1 out, top of the ninth. No advancements on first base from Roy. Kalakai gets the read from his dugout. Checks first. Set, delivers. Smith fouls it back once again. This one goes out of play towards the left side. 1-2 again.
And all these foul balls for Trevor Smith, he's fouled them off to the left field side, kind of straight back behind him a little bit. So he's definitely a little bit late on all these pitches from Kalakai. So if you can get one that's maybe an off speed or maybe a fastball that's not quite as fast, you can definitely just get it between the white lines, something that can score Roy at first base.
Kalakai gets the read. Winds, delivers. Smith pulls that one towards the right side, hits that one foul, and that one he was early on.
Like I said, he's going to get something that's a little bit slowed down because I was expecting Kalakai is going to try and slow him down. He's been, kind of gassing him up a little bit, and he's going to give him something to slow him down to kind of break his brain. But Trevor Smith does a good job of battling, staying alive, and just fighting that one off.
Freshman 0 for 4 in the day, but still fighting for a hit. Kalakai gets the read from his dugout. Tries to go pick off at first. Good throw and attempt, but the bang-bang play still winds up in Roy being safe at first. 1-2, still the count. Smith gets back into the batter's box. Left-handed side for the switch hitter. Kalakai takes a deep breath, sets, delivers. Grounded back to Kalakai, throws a second. He's out and throw to first. It's a bang double play. Gets him out of the inning. Kalakai still with a scoreless season so far. It was out at
second from the shortstop, delivered to first. It is a 6-3 double play. And that'll do it for the top of the ninth. The Long Beach Dirtbags have one more inning to make up 2 runs on the Washington State Cougars. We're going to head to the top of the ninth for some clutch baseball. You're ready to listen on KUGR Radio, College Baseball. Back here at Blair Field at Bull Diamond, it's Nathan Eshelman joined by Smith Slye on KUGR Radio for Cougar Baseball. It is the bottom of the ninth, do-or-die situation for the Long Beach Dirtbags. They're down 9-7 to the Washington State Cougars. Matt Toomey up to bat. August Ritchie still hanging in there for the Cougars on the mound. Ritchie ready to deliver the first pitch of the bottom of the ninth. And it goes just outside. 1-0 count now to Matt Toomey.
And it's a big spot here for the sophomore. He's leading it off in the bottom of the ninth. You're only down by 2. It's not the biggest lead. That can just disappear in a heartbeat. So you got to get things going for Long Beach.
The 1-0. Low and outside. 2-0 now to Toomey. And August Ritchie, he hung it in there well last inning. Ended it with a strikeout on Dylan Lena. Now on the bottom of the ninth, he needs to do it again. Third pitch, catches the zone. 2-1 count now to Toomey. August Ritchie now has his ERA below 9 on the year. 4 innings pitched. Delivers it to Toomey. Toomey grounds it hard to Shawnsby. Shawnsby tosses to Ritchie, and he's out at first. First out, 2 more left to go until the Dirtbags are out of it.
Yeah, Toomey was just really early on that. Just smacked it down the right field line. Shawnsby's right there to make that play. Shawnsby looked a little though like he fielded it and almost tripped over himself, but he stays on his feet. August Ritchie does his job as the pitcher, gets over to the first base, gets to the line, runs up, makes the grab, steps on first, get that first out of the inning. You get it out of the way. And now you're facing off against Jake Evans with 1 out. You're 2 outs away from snagging a 9-7 win.
August Ritchie winds up, delivers, catches the top of the zone. Sweet chin music to Jake Evans. 0-1 count now. Washington State took the 2-run lead in the top of the 8th thanks to some good singles. Ritchie delivers. It's hit weakly to the third base side, and Northrup lets it go foul as he wasn't in the best position to catch the weak chopper.
And Northrup's had to do that quite a few times in this game and a couple of the other games in this series where a ball down the third base line, he probably could charge it, grab it, make a play, but he's smart. He lets it roll foul, force the batter to have to get back into the box. Now they're gassed because they had to run up the line, have to come back. They have to get back in the box, reset. And that can be hard sometimes depending on the hitter to get back into the at-bat. And so for Kyle Northrup, it's all about those good reads, seeing those balls, making sure that they're foul, and making sure you're not making a play out of something that you don't need to make a play out of.
It's great job and great wit from the third baseman. Jake Evans stands back in. He was running down the first baseline, got his equipment back on. Down 0-2. Ritchie's pitch, swing and a miss in the dirt. Thine had to catch it, throw to first, and the strikeout gets converted. 2 outs now.
Beautiful pitch from August Ritchie. A slider in the dirt. Evans goes chasing after it. It's a drop third strike, but Noah Thine's able to pick it up, get to the inside part of the diamond, throw across to Shawnsby to get that out. You are 1 out away. All you need to do is just sit down Caden Smacka, and then you're going to walk away with a 9-7 win in a split series. But it all starts with getting this out right here.
Smacka has reached on his 2 last at-bats, one from a walk and then one from an error from the shortstop. Starts his first at-bat with a ball, 1-0 count, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. Washington State, 2-run lead, looking to end it. August Ritchie sends it in, catches the zone, 1-1 now to Smacka. The outfielder from Vegas, ready to keep his team in the game. He needs to reach base. He would be still a run behind. Smacka sends it deep to left field, tracking it. Robbins got it, and the Cougars win! Washington State grabs the win. Dustin Robinson on the run. And August Ritchie with 2 scoreless innings keeps Washington State in it with a 9-7 victory over the Long Beach Dirtbags.
Well, I'll tell you, Nathan, every single member of this Washington State fan section off to our right was holding their breaths. Dustin Robinson backing up, had to spin around a couple times, fighting the sun. The sun's just blaring into his eyes, but he's able to make the catch. And what a way to cap off the weekend. You split the series, lost both games to BYU, but you win both games to Long Beach, 9-7, a nail-biter. At no point in this game did anybody think that the Washington State Cougars were going to run away with it. Long Beach was backing it every single inning, following every time Washington State were able to get some runs. A lot of walks, a lot of hit by pitches, back-to-back hits, back-to-back RBIs. It was very much blow for blow for blow for blow for blow. It's thrilling college baseball. That's just a good weekend series for the Cougs. You get punched in the mouth by BYU, 2 heartbreaking losses, and you come back, you show grit, and able to get those 2 wins against Long Beach. A phenomenal weekend for head coach Nathan Show, and this is exactly what you want to see from non-conference baseball. You know, you're playing against teams that are not in the same conference as you. You're using it as a time to audition new players, new faces, to see who's going to win starting spots. You kind of figure out the identity of your team, and the identity of the Cougs right now is a team that can start out, they'll get down, they'll go through adversity, but you give them a little bit of time, they will battle back. They'll show grit. They'll claw and teeth their way back into games and series, and that's what they did today against Long Beach with that 9-7 win.
It was a phenomenal win for Washington State, and one of the most clutch performances I think I saw of the day, and honestly in the series, is August Ritchie stepping back in after the tough, heartbreaking loss to BYU. He pitched 2 perfect innings, a 3-1 to start each one. He did a great job getting to the first base bag, but then also finishing the bottom of the 8th with a clutch strikeout to Dylan Lena, and then getting a strikeout on Jake Evans. Just a great job honing his game back in, and a good job to secure the 2-run win for the Washington State Cougars.
Absolutely, yeah. And if you look at this game, there are different heroes from every single different matchup. Yesterday it was Trevor Smith, almost hit for the cycle. Today it was Mason Perello, who had RBI after RBI, hit after hit after hit. So they're just able to have a different person, different face every single time, getting it done to get the win for you. And that's a really good sign for Washington State. You don't have to lean on one person. Ben, you are leaning a little bit on Trevor Smith to help you in these games, but it's Trevor Smith, it's Max Hartman, Dustin Robinson, Mason Perello, Dane Chavez, name after name, face after face, different guys who on any given day, any given at-bat, any given moment can get the job done. Even the pitching staff showed some great strides, some great improvements from those first 2 games. They struggled a little bit, like we mentioned, August Ritchie giving up that 3-run shot to Cooper Jones to inevitably walk it off, or not walk it off, but get the go-ahead in that first BYU game. And then, of course, that walk-off hit from Ryder Robinson in the second BYU game. So you saw the pitching staff, the relief arms really tighten up there in these last 2 games of the series. So you're seeing a Cougar team that's got a lot of potential and a lot of different faces, a lot of different suspects who can get the job done on any given day.
It was the middle of the order who really showed up a lot today. It's a power by committee. 2 men with 3 RBIs in Mason Perello and Ryan Shawnsby. And the Cougars wound up with 10 hits, 2 errors, 10 runners left on base. In Long Beach, 8 hits, 3 errors, 9 runners left on base, and the biggest stat of all, Washington State Cougars with 9 runs to Long Beach 7. And with that, that'll do it for us here on KGR. We finished the 4-game road trip to Long Beach. We're here from Blair Field. Thank you for listening and have a good night.